What happened to my thing? Ah, come on. There it is. Yeah, it was. First, I hit the original countdown thing instead
I
of
saw
the.
that. I go, well, we're back to 25 seconds.
Welcome everybody to the Friday Night BS show. We got a full show for you
Chris.
guys tonight. Before I jump into topics for tonight's show, which is all about marriage, Bob has a few words for you.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life. It means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you there's something else, the afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, Dr. Everything.
That was our Prince. If you didn't know that was Prince, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I knew it was Prince.
I hope so, Bruce. I hope so that you knew. Brian, did you know that was Prince?
No.
What?
Brian, would you like to elaborate on that?
No.
No. What's up,
This is going to be a
Chris?
thing now. You know this, right? The whole yes and no thing.
Yes.
You're going to like it. I don't have to explain a thing. I'll just say yes or
no. Well, we got a full show for you tonight. Our topics tonight, dating sites and marriage rates, mail order brides, marriage and this generation, marriage and divorce rates in each country. I dug up every marriage and divorce rate for every country that you can imagine. They're all listed. And thanks to Brian's wife, we have an extra topic tonight, which is a great one, sports and marriage. No, it is a good topic. I mean, you don't think about it until you're married and you all of a sudden but you don't ask your wife or your future wife what her favorite sports teams is, because a guy just doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But then you get married and then all of a sudden you find out she's a Cowboys fan and you're a Redskin fan. You know what I mean?
Not an issue in my house.
But yeah, it can. I don't think
it's probably not an issue at Bob's house either.
Yeah. Bob, would you marry a Giants fan?
Say what?
Would you marry a Giants fan? See, Bruce?
Marriage first, sports second. If we're getting along, and if we're getting along and everything's perfect, yeah, I'd marry a Giants fan.
You marry a Giants
But I'm not
fan?
converting. I'm not converting.
Yeah, you're not converting. Unfortunately, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's something you don't discuss in the dating process. Is what sports? Do. I don't think I ever brought. I didn't find out that my ex-wife was a Dolphins fan until like a year into our marriage.
Really?
And then I didn't ask her. I had no desire to ask her if she was a football fan. I just assumed, that she didn't like football. We just assumed that, So for me, it was shockers. Like, I'm a Dolphins fan. And I'm like, oh, what? Oh, you're a what? Not that I wouldn't marry. Hello, Deb. The Juice 1777. Hello. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Got a great show. So let me introduce my co-host tonight.
Who is the Juiced one?
Yeah, the Juiced 1777 is watching the show right there.
Oh no, I just wonder who they are though.
Oh, say hello to Deb. Everybody say hello to Deb.
Hi, Deb.
How you doing, Deb?
And Michael and Chris are on.
Yeah, Michael and Chris are on. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce my co-host. This guy made Google think it's time to change its name from Hello Google to Hi Bob, Mr. Bob Sharp. Our next co-host, I can promise you will never hear these words said from him. To make a long story short, Mr. Brian Power.
No.
This yes.
Explain that one, Brian.
No.
Don't do that to him. Don't do that. This other co-host spends most of his time hunting down the magic unicorn on apps like Tinder and Bubble. Hello, Bruce. And the
Oh.
other two are not here yet, so I can't use their punchlines yet. So they'll have to wait. And of course, I am your host, whose dream wife is a mix between Taylor Swift and a woman that works at Subway, John Trincali. Oh man! All right, Brian. How's your day going, Brian? That Taylor Swift and Subway chick. I can't wait to meet her. Oh,
I'm doing all right. I mean, it hasn't really been raining here, so we're not flooding and stuff. So it's been nice out today. So like it's average.
yeah.
Nothing
And
special.
Your wife,
No,
your
no
wife will
growing
be
your
joining
mind.
us. Your wife will be joining us shortly.
Yep. She's here in a bit. She's on the phone.
She's good. She's on the
Bruce,
phone.
you're on Grinder.
No,
You on Grinder, Bruce? No.
no, but Brian found one. Don't misspell Twitter.
Yeah. So apparently there's a thing like if you go on Google and you type in Twitter, okay, but instead of the T you put an S. Apparently that's a whole different thing. I didn't know
Twitter, I
this.
saw that.
It popped up and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?"
You want to give out that address, Brian, later?
I just told you what it was. You can do your own research like I did.
Which letter do you replace?
The T with an S.
Just-
Oh, the T with an S.
yeah,
that's all
don't
you need to do.
Don't do
Okay.
a typo.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Don't
it's a thing. I
It'll
guess.
take you to an adult dating site.
He was Googling at work. Oh, Brian. Oh. Let
Oh,
me
it's
get
an
this.
escort directory. Okay.
It's an escort
Oh.
directory. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. I didn't
You got
know.
Bob Intrigued. You have Bob,
Yeah.
Bob Intrigued now.
Oh, that's core directory.
Well, I mean, for it to be a mistake, like the T and the S actually had to be close together, but they're not. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Well, they're both on the left hand side of the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. I mean, kinda. No, they're not really, but
Well, they're,
it'd
wrong
be
row.
kind of hard to make that. You really got to want to make that mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just mistyped it. And there
So
it went.
why did you want to really? How did you mistype that? I'm looking
I
at.
don't know. I no clue. No clue.
That's his excuse, and is going to keep using that one, Bob.
Yes.
Bob, how is your day going, Mister?
It went all right. Went to the Home Depot. Went to Bed Bath and Beyond. Busy day. Yeah, gonna be a busy day.
You
I
been
can't hear
shopping
those
today,
words.
Bob?
I
Right,
can't hear
Kenny.
those words together
Actually, I did go out to Home Depot and ran some errands and stuff.
I can't hear those words together and not think that movie. So you can't say Bed Bath and Beyond and maybe Home Depot without me thinking,
Yep.
old school.
Old school.
And Bruce, we know what your day is like. You were on the greens.
I was on the green.
You were on the greens.
I was
Did you break 80?
Golfing, not today.
You did not break 80.
No,
Oh, shit.
no. I shot
when
I shot 81 the other day though.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
not bad. That's not bad. That's not
Today,
that's not-
Today I was leaving too many putts right next to the hole.
yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
like the magic of
yeah.
television, she just appears.
It's like a genie. It's like the
Yep.
genie in a bottle.
Brian, did you rub the hard apple cider bottle when she popped out or what?
What was that? She didn't hear you.
She's just being nice until I get hit. It's okay.
All right. Well, we're waiting for that. We got an over and under on how many times Brian gets hit tonight.
Yeah.
You've
We
been
can't
losing that lately, though. Usually he's not getting hit
That's
anymore.
because you haven't been on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have been so crazy busy, you guys. You have no idea.
Ah,
It's like we thought maybe you left Brian and he just didn't tell us or something.
No, it's, you only knew. My last 2 weeks have been such a huge roller coaster. It's like insane.
we're glad you're with us tonight, and you gave me a great topic. I was telling the boys, I think that was a great topic because it doesn't come up. All right, Brian's like, yeah, it does. But all right, did Brian ask you what your favorite teams were when you guys were dating?
He already knew.
What do you mean he already knew? We already
So, okay.
you rocking the jersey?
Well, yeah, but the other thing is like, before Brian and I started dating, I was engaged to another man. and like the wedding was completely planned out, and the football team that me and this other guy both liked, those were our wedding colors. So
Oh, okay.
Brian already kind of knew what my team was because I had been talking to him before I, called off the wedding and stuff. So
Did you second guess your decision, Brian, knowing that she was a Cowboys fan?
Yes.
Yes.
you're full of shit.
Go ahead. Slap number one coming. Slap number one coming. Oh, we don't have an over and under on kisses, so we'll have to add that one to the poll.
See, Brian's trying to limit his long descriptive answers to one word.
Yes.
No, I just had
Yes.
my fourth drink,
Yes.
so I'm
No.
feeling rather
Brian,
negative.
Go ahead, Brian. Yes. What else did Johnny Carson's buddy used to say, Bob? That is correct. That is correct. Didn't he used to say that too?
Bob's like, huh?
I don't think Bob can hear
Well,
you.
yeah, because I really can't hear that well.
Oh,
Because the
no.
volume is no bueno.
There's no bueno. Bob's volume is dead. So,
All right, we're gonna have to sign Bob.
all right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let me pick which one we're gonna go with first here. We're gonna wait on that one for. We're gonna wait on the generation question when Mike and Morgan jump in because it's kind of around them on that one. But we'll ask this one: does marriage rates on online dating sites matter to you, Bruce? Does it matter to you that the dating site that you're using has high numbers of marriages?
Oh, I don't ever check to find out.
You know, check.
No, because I'm not looking to get married, so I could really care less. So.
Right, Bruce ain't looking to get married.
You're not looking to get married. Well,
in fact, the gals that are actually looking for marriage that stays still on their profile, you get a swipe left. So
no, they don't.
oh yes,
You
they
go
do.
like this. You go.
No, I don't even go to It's like no.
Bruce goes. Oh, can I break her? Can I break her?
But
No,
those people
anybody-
probably know how to make a sandwich, Bruce.
Yeah. That's what you might
That I'll
be
send them
missing
to Brian or to Johnny.
Brian?
Yeah, I know how to make a sandwich, amongst other things.
Yeah, you see that should be the first question though on any survey John takes when he's like online dating.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Can
put
a woman
that.
make a good sandwich?
Well,
And question number 2, does the woman like pineapple on pizza?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
she puts
yeah,
yes. She's
yeah.
done. She's done. I'll never speak
And then
to
of
her.
course you need to know what her sports teams are, right?
Yeah, no, that's not happening. If she doesn't like, well, take a wild guess of which one of the apps has the highest marriage rate.
eHarmony.
Hey, which one do you think it is, Bob?
Onlycousins.com?
Only Cousins. Successful rates right there. Brian and Danielle, which one
I don't
do you
know.
think?
Farmers only. I don't know.
Farmers
Can you
only.
Match.com.
Do you want to agree with your wife, Brian, or do you want to go with your
You
own?
don't have to. I won't hit you, baby.
I don't know. I want to say Tinder, but that's just me.
Brian is correct.
booty
Tinder
call.
has the highest marriage rate of all the apps out there.
Dude, I
Really?
thought that was
Look at
just
that.
a booty call.
I thought Tinder was just like looking for quickie.
Despite
Yeah.
its here you go.
Yeah,
Despite
but-
its former reputation as being casual relationships, or insight indicated that Tinder is top dating site for marriage, according to the Knott's 2021 survey. Tinder has a 26% marriage rate.
I got to drop that site then.
Tinder,
Well, you know, Bruce, the
Bruce like, I'm out. No, screw that.
I'm out.
is so
I'm
good.
deleting that tonight, John.
delete
The
it.
sex is so good, you got to keep her.
Plenty of Fish has had, like, I have people I know personally that have met their significant other, their spouse, on
Yeah.
Plenty of Fish,
Plenty of fish.
which I also thought was just like a booty call hookup site.
Yeah.
I tell you, of all the ones that I've been on, the Plenty of Fish was the biggest booty call one that I
Yeah.
actually was on.
Well, take a wild
That
guess what number
That
2
one
is.
every day was an overnight bag.
Take a guess what number 2 was.
Bumble.
You know what?
Bumble has a 22% marriage success rate.
I got to
One-
drop that one too.
Bruce, you're down to no apps.
Success,
I mean, that's two out of three now.
That's 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but you're talking about these rates, and that's still super low. I mean, you're being exposed to hundreds of possibilities where
thousands.
Yeah, but it depends on your geographical area that you plug in.
Well, that's true. See, because you can't really put in, like, you can't go, because I thought about doing that, seeing what the total amount of people that were on Bumble, but technically you're only stuck to the area that you're willing to give into. So whatever zip code. So
you could be exposed to the entire world if you're a traveler.
They have a global setting on Tinder, and on Bumble they have a traveling setting on Bumble. But Bumble's different because the girl has to make the first move.
The girl has to make the first move. Yeah, well, that's pretty high. That's a pretty high rate. Both, if you think about it, if you take into consideration, I mean, I don't know how you could break it down to how many women are being in your area. That's kind of difficult. I mean, do you when you're swiping, I don't know if you're on there every day or not, Bruce, but when you're swiping, do you run into the same person every now and then? Okay, you do.
Yes, it repeats itself.
It'll repeat itself. So, so what do you think on average? How many women do you think you see in a week that are, not going to be the same chick? What would you say?
How much depends on the area, because what happens is that you'll set your parameters as far as the distance go, or an age group, or all that crap, right? So it's based off obviously the age group, and then your geographic parameters that you set, whether it be 0 to 10 miles, or 0 to 60, or 0 to 100, or whatever it is like that. So that narrows the field down considerably. Yeah. And then, of course, you can put other filters in as well.
So what would you say the average is? In a week, you'd see maybe how many women you see?
Probably swipe 100 women in a week.
100 women.
Yeah.
Okay, so this dude just put in the comments, what's the marriage rate on the escort site Brian Power used? Okay, very clear. I met him through his best friend and my best friend. There was no escort. You don't pay for this because
you sure it wasn't Twitter?
Pay for that.
You definitely don't pay for that either.
I have to do Mike's introduction because it's funny.
I thought it was Twitter, Brian.
Oh,
it was Twitter.
Mike?
Yeah.
Mike has joined us. This guy loves the ladies, but just can't decide if he should date a cougar or a young Democrat. Welcome, Michael.
Young Democrat. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Are you surprised that Tinder has the highest marriage rate?
I call bullshit.
On all the sites, Tinder ranked the highest. It was.
Is that Tinder? Is that Tinder's ad advertisement?
No, they don't advertise that on their site. This is a regular service that analyzes all the dating sites, and Tinder was the highest at 26%.
26% what?
26% of the people that hook up on Tinder end up getting married.
That's crazy. Tinder must be really different other places, because here Tinder is trash.
And
I don't even get on it.
Bumble is number 2.
Kidding.
Bumble is number 2, Mike, at 22%.
I have a female friend who met her husband on Tinder.
On Tinder.
Yeah, that was probably a while ago, right?
2 years ago.
Ooh, even that's crazy. Now it's
they
just
were
like
married after 6 months.
Yeah, it's pretty
right. Okay, well that makes sense.
It's this slim pickings out there.
They're either it's just a bunch of ugly girls, or people just looking to hook up, or both,
or couples,
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe the people all the single people in my area are just ugly. But
Mike, you're in the same area I am, and I agree.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't even get on Tinder anymore. That's how bad it is.
And then occasionally you get the transgender, but at least they admit it.
They admit it.
Okay, so what would the success rates be for the teen version of Tinder? Have you heard of
there's
Yubo?
A teen version?
There's a teen version called Yubo.
Oh,
What?
I don't know. You'll have to
I
look
haven't
that
heard
one
of
up,
that.
Brian.
It's
I never heard of that one.
very scary from a parental standpoint. So if you have children and they have UBO, be very scared.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah,
I've never
I
heard of
never
it
heard
either.
it.
It's messed up.
Bruce said he's going to delete Tinder now because of the successful marriage rates on it.
Bumble, too. Bumble was number 2.
Bumble's number 2 with 22%. So I take it, Mike, you're not looking at the success rate of marriage on those 2 apps, right?
It must just be very different other places, because here it's literally just riddled with, they look like fake, it looks like fake accounts and just really ugly people, or just people looking to hook up. Like, it is, I would, if you had me rank all of them, and like your chances of finding someone to marry, or like your chances just period, I would put Tinder at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, people that take it seriously for a serious relationship, I would put Tinder at the bottom. I'd put Bumble above it. I'd put Hinge above it. Like, people are way more serious, really looking for relationships. Tinder just looks like it's just like whatever.
Well, I mean, and most of the profiles aren't verified, and then a lot of them, they're all professional photographs, so damn well,
so it looks fake.
It's a scam. It's fake, right? I had one gal that liked me on the one site. Her face was so touched up. She looked. I was like, oh my God, you actually put those pictures on the profile, and you can't be seriously. And it was a verified profile, and I don't know how they verified it with her face.
Women are allowed to do that.
Explain to me. I know you
Women
two
are allowed
use
to
the
do that
app.
and get away with it.
I know you 2 guys use the app. Explain to me, how do you know it's a verified account? Is it?
I don't know if
check mark
Tinder
on it.
does them.
Huh?
Tinder, both they'll have a like a blue check mark by the.
Oh, so kind of like Twitter and Instagram.
So the way they verify it is you have to. They'll send you a picture of somebody posing on your cell phone, and you've got to mimic that pose and take a picture, a selfie yourself. So they'll send you 3 different poses, and you got to mimic all 3 poses, and then send them back.
Yeah, just not from me.
And it verifies that you are you.
Oh,
right?
Did you do that, Bruce? Are you verified?
Yeah, I verified.
Did you verify, Mike?
I don't know.
Maybe that'll up your chances with the Democratic women.
Yeah, that's a negative, Ghost Rider.
There's a lot of liberal.
That's the last thing I need in my life.
As I call it the website full of liberal Spartan training women.
Yeah.
Spartan training women.
Brian, did you find that site? I know that's kind of a goofy, weird site to look up and be in your history, but does it really exist for teens?
Yeah, we know this from personal experience. It's called Yubo.
Yeah.
IUBO.
IUBO? Is it an app?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the quick background on it actually started over in France. It's a French social networking app designed to meet new people and create a sense of community. But basically what it is you can go on there, and it's just basically you start your cam or your cell phone camera, and you go live with somebody random and just start talking. That's all.
Okay, so it's not a dating. I know what it is. It's like
it is very much a dating app.
They're probably using it just like Instagram and some of the other ones.
Yeah, it's kind of like, damn, what was that other chat thing that people used to use?
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, it's like a chat thing. Like,
I know what you're talking about. It was featured in a movie at one point, wasn't it?
I don't remember the name of it, but people would always get on it to chat and message and shit. And that's pretty much what this is.
Yeah, but okay, so just thinking about this like from a parental standpoint, so when you have a teenager that starts randomly chatting with people from all around the country, and they have
do that already anyways.
Spark and maybe it's just because we've had experience with a more vulnerable teenager, from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, that's not good.
But the thing is like that to me is just absolutely terrifying, because I don't want my kid out there with who knows who that's pretending to be what age.
Well, there's authorities out there that are pretending to be young kids on the internet that are setting up stings and all that crap too.
Again, personal experience, you know, with
Yeah, see, but that's
our
the thing is like kids
but-
can have like Facebook and Instagram and all that shit. They don't even need that, so
No, but
Like,
I mean, it's
it's not
scary
going to
that
stop them.
It's scary.
there's additional ones. So what about TikTok? That was what I was going to ask Bruce. You know, TikTok is kind of the new one where, you know, you find
Yeah.
somebody that you think is attractive and you follow them and you watch their videos.
Yeah, and then you find out they're
start
17.
talking.
Yeah.
Well,
Sick.
you can start talking to them or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that social media in general, people don't give a shit about the reviews or about the success rates because the majority of them, they just want to find a piece of ass. And if it develops into something more, they may be okay with it. They may not be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
which is-
happens to face-to-face conversations with individuals that you meet through mutual friends, family members, church groups, that sort of thing? What happened to that?
I don't
Society
know. I was
happened.
thinking about that too today, Danielle. It's
Well,
like
the COVID
even,
shut a hell of a
you know
lot
what's
of it
funny?
down.
you bring that up, but also what I've noticed is like buddies and girlfriends don't even do it anymore. Like try to set up their friend, you know, a friend of your husband's with somebody. One of your
The whole
that doesn't-
dating world is
that doesn't even
completely
happen
changed.
anymore.
Oh, it is.
Like
It-
1000% changed.
it is so jacked up out there.
Yeah, we are not. This society in itself has changed. It's not about meeting people, and it's
Well,
more
let me
about
ask everybody
going out
watching.
and, like
Yeah.
you go out with the people you're with, and you ignore everybody else, and you don't want
Yeah.
people to bother you.
No?
Like I'm being serious. Like, you know, like you guys probably know when you guys were younger, you guys used to go out to bars and stuff. You know, you could actually walk up to women and talk and mingle or whatever, or even just before that in high school and stuff too, like, or right after high school. But now it's like most people, you go up and talk to somebody and they're just, or try to, and they're just going to be like, why are you talking to me? I don't
Well, yeah.
know
I
you.
mean, you'll just get to like back off.
I
dude.
don't
You're
know
in
you.
space.
Pretty much is what it is. People
Yeah.
don't want to talk to people they don't
No.
know.
No.
Yeah. Well, let me ask everybody out there: have you guys, everybody watching the show, have you ever tried to set up a friend with one of your friends? Have you? Because that doesn't even happen anymore. It's like
yeah, but that's dangerous though, because like nowadays, because I've had friends try to set me up.
All right.
and
Let me
half
ask
the time
you,
I
Mike,
turn it
would
down.
you trust me? Would you trust somebody I tried to set up with you?
No.
What the fuck? What? Like I don't know you enough to set you up with somebody?
Well, I mean, I know. I mean, I would just say you'd have to show me pictures and you'd have to tell me a
Well,
little bit
okay,
about
I'll
her
show you a
first.
picture of her, but
Yeah, if
personality
you
and
showed
all
me a
that
picture
stuff.
and she looked decent and you thought that she, you know, kind of was on the same, same style person as me, yeah, I would
Yeah.
probably do it.
No, I had a kind of a friend, but somebody I know out of the blue sent me a text and said, "Hey, I got a friend. I think you guys would be perfect together. Are you still single?" And I was on this show at the time, and I just quickly said,
I got set up
Oh, yeah,
with my
sure,
ex-wife.
you know?
That's a joke.
and and it was like, and whatever. Well, next thing I know, she sends me her phone number, says, "We'll call her." Well, then I finally found her name and looked her up, just to kind of check her out because I didn't know what she looked like or who she was, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
And so I
see,
mean, I had to kind of had to ghost it, and then the friend kind of sent me a text a couple days later. She goes, "Well, how did it go with so and so?" I go, "It didn't happen, I just it's not my type,
the thing is, women, you cannot
Yeah.
let other women set you up.
Oh no,
That's where it is. You
And
can
it was
let
so out of
guy
the blue,
friends and stuff set you up, but
Okay,
with
but
women, the first question has to be, "Let me see a picture." Because I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
oh
but
yeah,
every woman thinks every woman is gorgeous, and
okay.
every man does not
Yeah.
think every woman is
All right,
gorgeous.
let me ask you,
That is
Mike.
just pure facts.
If Katrina, if Katrina tried to set you up with somebody, would you go out with that person?
I've had
And Katrina
set me
knows
up
you
with somebody.
well,
I've
huh?
had Katrina set me up with someone before.
All right, but that's a woman. She's a woman.
Yeah, but Katrina has my best interest. Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
cares
that's
more
true.
about me than she does about her friends.
no, and I mean, this gal, I mean, I knew, but I didn't really know her, so I didn't really know how she thought that this gal would be perfect for me.
Because
So
I've literally had people try
Yeah.
to, like, friends' moms and stuff, be like, "Oh,
well, I had that
like, I want
too.
to set you up with this person," and I'm like, and I tell my friends, I'm like, "Dude, like, really?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "What, man? I mean, what am I gonna like?"
Would you
I'm
trust
sorry, like
Bob?
she seems like a
Would
nice
you
girl, but
trust
she's
Bob?
not cute to me. Like,
Would you
she's
trust
not my-
Bob? Would you
Bob,
trust
yeah, I'd
Bob?
probably trust Bob. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm asking for the same thing from every person. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit about them, and you're gonna have to show me pictures. I'm not agreeing to anything, giving my number out, anything, unless I see pictures. Because
I'm just
if I'm
not-
not
Well,
Yeah,
physically
Tender's the
attracted
highest.
to your
I
picture,
am-
it's not gonna happen.
I'm not doing the blind date thing.
Yeah, Tinder
No,
was the
hell no.
highest. Bumble was second.
I
Like,
have.
I had a buddy of mine.
I have-
who ended up with
Go ahead. Let
his
Bob
wife-
talk.
His
Hold
wife's
on.
mom.
Go ahead, Bob.
I have introduced Joe to a couple women,
Yeah.
and Joe was not disappointed.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the first one I introduced him to, I had to go get the car in the rain and drive back to the restaurant about, I don't know, a quarter of a mile, and he's under the awning making out with her.
Yeah, there you go. It happens. It can happen.
Let's go, Joseph.
And
Now-
where is he now?
Joe's home. He's back
That's
home now.
that's not up to me on how he closes the deal.
Yeah.
My deal is giving you the introduction.
Yeah.
Bob gets
Okay.
you in the batter's box. What
Right.
happens when you get to first is all on you. And if you're going to round the bases, it's on you. It's on you.
Yeah, you
Well,
got to learn how
US
to hit a fastball. I'm going to
Yeah.
put you up the plate. You
It's the
got to
curveball.
learn how to hit a fastball.
It's the curveball you got to worry about, Bob. U.S.
Whatever,
marriage
man.
rates 6.8% for every 1,000.
Actually, Leopard. I had it spelled MALE, but then I changed it to male.
Oh, cougars. Yeah,
Look
the
out,
average
Becky's already had
marriage
shots of
rate.
tequila.
Yeah, the average married rate in the U.S. is 6.8. So for every 1,000 people, 6.8% end up getting married in the U.S. What do you think the divorce rate is in the U.S.?
It's
Oh,
close to 50.
divorce? I would say
It's very close to 50.
57%.
It's between 48 and 52.
Yeah, 50% is between 40 and 50% end up getting a divorce out of
So,
that.
yeah,
like,
it's bullshit. It's close to 50.
yeah. Let me. I got this one. What do you?
No.
this one's surpri-
Danielle has a
Danielle.
question.
Where is it?
She had her hand
Danielle
up.
has a question.
Oh, Danielle. Oh, I'm looking at the comments and she's right there. Stop
No,
drinking.
I'm like trying to peek in on some of these, and you're just like railroading over me.
No,
Thanks.
go ahead.
No. So first thing I was gonna say is, as you get into married situation, like me as a female, I have very few single friends.
Mhm.
He has very few single friends.
Right.
So when you talk about trying to fix people up and talking about, matching his friends with my friends and whatever, so you can do these double date things,
Right.
it gets really hard because, we had one of my best friends. He had an acquaintance that was interested in her, and I showed her a picture of him, and she's like, "Oh, hell no."
Oh,
And
Jesus.
then, we have other single friends where it's like they've maybe talked online a couple of times and it's just not happening. So it does get more difficult as you get older and as your life situation
Right.
changes. The other thing I was going to say is when it comes to setting people up and friends, ours was a complete backfire. So 12 years ago tomorrow actually was our first date. We met, 5 years before that, so 17 years ago. It was
Woo.
the first time I met him. So 17 years
Brian,
ago.
did you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
What'd you have for
Are
lunch
you going to
yesterday,
do something
Brian?
nice for your wife tomorrow, Brian?
Yes.
No, he is. He's watching our toddler so that I can go to the Bison football game on my own and he can babysit
Oh, that's a good husband.
unintentionally. He
I
didn't
think you
plan
should
it,
keep him.
but
I think you should keep him, Danielle.
It's still debatable.
It's still.
You see, John, the numbers we should be talking about are that 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Oh, I have
And-
those rates.
And if you go to college educated, it's 90%
Yeah.
are
Oh, right.
initiated by women.
I can get that. But the other thing I was going to say is when we first met 17 years ago, my best friend told Brian, stay the hell away from her. She's got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I was still naturally drawn to him, even though I had a boyfriend and I lived 200 miles away. So I look back on that a lot, thinking if I would have made a different decision from a college standpoint and I would have moved here sooner, I could have been with my husband sooner.
Yeah.
But at the same point, he was also much less mature, so I don't know that it would have even lasted
Down
if I did live here.
Yeah.
Because we were both in a totally different
Yeah.
mindset at the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it basically comes down to timing is everything, and our timing sucked for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then, 5 years to the day we met, we went on our first date, and that was 12 years ago tomorrow. So,
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is, but I think, being set up or having it backfire can benefit at times.
Yeah.
It just really depends on the people and where they go from there. So I agree with Bob when he talks about it's not his fault if he didn't close the deal kind of thing.
Yeah. What do you think? What country do you think had the lowest divorce rate?
Italy.
Oh my God, India. Nobody gets divorced in India.
Nope.
Was it Italy?
Nope.
It's Russia.
2 countries.
Norway.
United,
Probably somebody where it's illegal.
the
China?
United Arabs country.
Oh, they're not allowed to
And-
get divorced.
They're not allowed to get divorced.
Yeah, or you'll get killed. So that
Or
don't
you will
count.
get killed.
Yeah. And number 2, Vietnam. Nobody gets divorced in Vietnam.
You're probably allowed to get killed there too. So
Probably get killed. Well, you think of I when I think Vietnam, I think most of the times it's pretty third world country, right? There's very little.
No.
Now, Vietnam's really grown up.
Well,
man.
a certain
Okay.
portion of it
Yeah.
is industrial, but
So
a
you
majority
guys-
of it is HUDs. Just fucking shacks.
I
it's
don't know.
because
If,
the women there love their men.
not necessarily.
Long time.
Uh,
Long time.
Have
Love you a long time.
Go ahead, Danielle.
any of you ever heard of or watched the show called 90 Day Fiance?
No.
I've seen
No.
commercials.
I've heard about it.
So it ties in directly with this whole mail order bride thing because people will meet
Yep.
someone from wherever online, whether it's Facebook or Tinder or WhatsApp or whoever. Anyways, yes, it is a trip, but they have couples
Twitter.
where these guys or girls from the United States meet these people in other countries, and then they basically have 90 days to actually marry them, or the person has to go back to where they came from.
Yeah.
So Vietnam, Southeast Asia, parts of Eastern Europe. There's a chick from Nigeria that did the whole filter thing and pulled the switch bait, and he was still fine with it. I mean, it's a trip. So
Wow.
if you're ever really bored, it's pretty interesting because it talks about the actual immigration laws of the United States and finding these people from other parts of the country. It ties into that whole mail order bride thing because once, the gal gets over here, the guy gets over here, the families will constantly talk to them about, is this a mail order bride situation? Are you paying for her to be here and paying for her to marry you just so they can use you for a green card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they come in and interview you and do all kinds of crap to make sure this is like up and up.
As long as she loves me long time, I don't care.
My Vietnamese gardener, before COVID, he kept going. He goes, "Hey Bruce," he goes, "You come with me to Vietnam." He says, he goes, "I hope you go up with a good village girl." I said, "Pretty?" He goes, "Oh, real pretty, but she they take care of your husband. They feed you, they bathe you, they clothe you. I mean, you're
Yeah.
like
yeah. They
like
wash
a-
your feet.
you're like a god husband,
Yeah, I
But he
saw
said
that
you-
statistic.
Because
Becky.
you can't marry the city girls. You gotta marry a village girl.
Yeah, I saw that statistic, but they didn't break it down to the age category. So I'm assuming a majority of those may be people, because there's still a lot of people that are in their late 60s and late 70s that are married still, that maybe don't have sex anymore because health reasons. So yeah, they didn't break that down. I saw that statistic, but they didn't break down the age category. So I don't know if that's people in their 30s as well as. You go ahead, Danielle. I thought you were going to slap Brian for a second.
I would say that's probably a lot of older people.
Yeah.
Well, but you have to think about it. When I think people when they get married, they underestimate the fact that you're not looking for somebody for their looks or for how good they are in bed. You're looking for a companion for your entire life.
We do?
Regardless of sex, regardless of stuff like that, you need to be able to still connect to somebody, because
But what
you
does
were in a-
sexless mean, though, too?
That's
Okay,
zero
so
sex, Mike.
For example,
For how long?
How are they counting people that are paralyzed? If
Yeah.
Brian were in a car
Well,
accident, to where, I mean, but
Yeah,
seriously,
that's
think
true.
about it.
But that's anecdotal.
No, it's probably taken.
What are you
into
saying?
consideration.
What are you saying? There's just a shitload of paralyzed people in the world?
No, but it could
No.
be taken into consideration.
Yeah, they
because
can
then
be part
look
of
at-
that.
Look
Yeah.
at when there's 70 and 80-year-old people.
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't work when you get old, Mike.
Yeah.
Use it or you lose
No.
it, man.
Okay, that's not true, because there's a lot
got
of older
pills
people
for
that are
that.
still having sex.
Some people.
But
Yeah.
the thing
Even
is, what
women.
I'm saying is, what does sexless mean? What did they base it on? Not having sex for a year? Not having sex for 2 years? Like
Oh,
once
That's
a
true.
month? Because I don't consider once a month sexless. Like, you're still having sex.
Right.
It's just
Like,
not off.
if it doesn't work or they don't have the functionality. You
Well,
know,
no,
like,
I'm just talking about in general, like with
Right.
marriages.
Yeah,
So,
the statistic, it's slanted. I get it.
so I'm just saying, what does sexless mean? But if you're talking about they just, as a general, don't have sex, I would say a lot of that is probably older couples for health
Right.
reasons.
Yep.
So,
It's got to be.
but it was crazy. I've been listening to these guys that put on stuff on YouTube, and I've been listening to for the last couple of weeks. But they were talking about how, like, it was like they asked men and women if their person that they were going to marry only made up 80% of what they wanted in a spouse or in a significant other, would that be okay with them? 90% of women said no, that would be settling. And like, it was like 90% of men were like, 80%, hell yeah, like that'd be awesome if I could find somebody that made up 80% of what I wanted in a person. And I was like, that just goes to show that. And they did a thing where they were interviewing a bunch of women about their marriage, like women that got divorced, people that got divorced. And a lot of these women that got divorced, the average age, like between 1 and 10 that they rated their marriage was a 7.
I think a 7's a win.
Exactly,
Yeah,
John,
7's
because
a
you're a
win.
guy.
Yeah. A
The
7's
The
a win.
point is
Yeah, I
that
mean,
the
one.
numbers
But our
show
scale-
that
I think a guy's scale is a
Men-
little lower than a girl's scale.
no, that was the thing, is that a lot of guys think that, my marriage is fine,
Yeah.
and then they find out it's not, but
It's
they
not.
find out with divorce papers.
Yeah, but they had no clue that it wasn't.
Exactly. But if you
There's your
get divorced
determination.
and you say your marriage was a 7, I mean,
Yeah.
damn, 7's pretty high to me.
Yeah, there's your definition of sexless marriage to their poll.
Oh, within 6 to 12 months. Oh, dude, if you're married, if you have like a really bad argument, you could definitely you could probably get close to 6 months.
6 months with one argument? It's
Not
gotta
one
be-
argument, but I'm saying
Uh,
if you're having a bad streak, like
oh,
if you're
yeah.
but you guys are arguing for a couple months, it's just you have a bad couple months.
Yeah.
That 6 months is doable to not have sex.
Sandwich maker. You have
But
to have sex
Amanda
on
wants
every
to speak. She wants to
Go ahead and
speak for the women.
no, that's Danielle.
Or
Danielle.
Danielle, sorry. I don't know why.
Daniel,
I said that.
Daniel, what's your
My name is
scale?
Dan.
Danielle wants to speak for the women.
So I think
For the-
there's a huge misconception with
You're gonna give me a slapped mic.
no.
No, she's
It's not your
She wouldn't
fault.
take out her anger of me towards you.
No, because only some men do that. Take things out on their wives.
Oh.
Okay, so
Ooh.
I have trouble thinking that, when they average their, satisfaction with their marriage as a 7, because anything less than an 8, I would consider to be a detractor. I mean, no marriage is perfect.
No.
We know that. Are you basing this 7 because he doesn't do the dishes? Are you basing a 7 on the fact that he can't put his underwear in the hamper even though it's right fucking there?
Or he leaves his polo shirts on the floor.
Brian.
Right.
Yes, a lot of
Or
women
the
are.
kitchen
What are
table
you-
or the
what-
doors.
What are you rating? Because the thing is like there are so many different facets to marriage. Communication. If you're rating your communication at a 7, that's pretty bad. That means like somebody has got to say something and actually step up and like start doing their shit.
Well, it means that he heard you 3/4
A
of the
7
time.
isn't that bad. A 7 is he's good at communicating, but he's not
I mean-
great.
Maybe
that
it's
means
just because
he heard you 3/4 of the time.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Look, I can answer your question right now, Danielle, when you're asking about like what are they basing it off of, like if he doesn't
Bob.
do little shit.
Bob,
They asked this
3/4 of the
question.
time. That's pretty good, right?
That's pretty good, huh?
I guess I'm not married. I don't know.
okay, so
So they asked these women, they asked people, a bunch of people, guys and girls, what would make you, what are things that would make you not go on a second date with someone? Or that if that would make you go on a second date. And guys said 3 things. They were like, as long as she's decent looking, as long as she's nice and kind, and she can hold a conversation. That's what like made almost all the guys listed.
Yeah.
The women came up with 300 reasons why not to go on a second date.
I
And
believe
one
it,
of them
then
was
fuck up
literally because he wore black shoes with a brown belt.
Yep.
Oh
more.
God, that's a
dumb.
sin.
That's shallow.
That's literally but that just shows you how guys were like, oh, as long as she's just decent and can hold a conversation. And women are like, if he does any of these things,
Yeah.
it's a no-go.
Yeah.
Okay, but the other thing is that you have to realize that marriage, dating, totally separate things. So
No, they
Uh,
are, but you got to go through one to get to the other.
right, and I completely get that. So
Mm.
Brian,
belt
if
and
you had
shoes
to
always
rate
match.
your satisfaction with our
Right on,
marriage,
Bruce.
what would you rate it at?
I have to
He's
say
not-
10.
You don't wear blue.
Thank
you
you,
don't
Brian.
wear blue
So
socks
I
with
don't,
black
I
shoes.
don't know
expect
what he
him
said.
to-
I couldn't hear him. If
He
I
said
had
10.
to rate our marriage, I would say an 8.
Oh, I was thinking
Damn.
2. You
Brian,
I
you're
was thinking you
winning.
were gonna say 2, but
I mean,
okay.
the thing is that it's always going to ebb and flow, though. You're going to have times where it's higher. You're going to have times where it's lower. You're going to have times where
I'll be right back. I need a
it's
drink.
good,
This is getting
it's
deep.
bad, you're indifferent. Like, you're going to have that. The thing with
Brian, you're one number away from her filing for divorce.
Right?
God, man. Yeah, boy.
The
Brian,
thing-
you slip
the thing
one
that
more
I-
number, you're on the dissatisfactory.
Well, see,
Fine there.
this is why I let her slap
But
me,
it
because hopefully
ebb
the
and
number goes up,
flows.
right?
It's not like the one time he drops down to a 7, I'm going to file divorce papers, because I personally, I don't believe in divorce. I take marriage very, very seriously, and
Yeah.
so does he, and that was one of the reasons that we ended up getting married, because I don't feel like when you enter into a marriage, you should have an easy out. You shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to divorce you if you don't pick up your fucking underwear off the floor.
It's
It's not
and
like that.
not that I completely agree with it, but that's kind of why the government got involved. Is
Wow.
because they try to make it harder to get divorced than it is to get married, because it shouldn't just be so willy-nilly, which is what people
Yeah.
would make it. Even
I
though
agree.
I'm not an advocate for big government, I'm just saying that's a part of it that I'm like, well, at least they got that little bit right. That
Right.
it should be harder to get divorced.
Right.
And I
Because
think that, people
Don't get married.
people enter into things, like they have the shotgun weddings and, oh, she's pregnant, we got to get married. And, we met in Vegas, we fell in love, we got married at a little Whitechapel. Like, I think that there has to be something inside of you that helps you understand what is worth fighting for. Do you have the feeling that you are going to fight for that person regardless of what happens, regardless of what you go through or not? If you don't have that feeling, don't get married.
Okay.
If you have that feeling, get married.
My aunt and uncle were married 61 years before my uncle died last year. So at the church that they were going to, a young couple asked my uncle, what was the secret of you and Millie staying married so long? And his response was, neither one of us gave up at the same time.
Say that again, Bob.
Neither one of them gave up at the same time. So if one of them gave up, the other one fought to keep him around, but neither one of them just said screw it at the same time. That's why they spent 61 years together, because they were fighting to stay married and stuff. And trust me, their marriage was not always perfect, but they were happily in love for, when my uncle died at the age of 83.
Yeah, see, that's what I think is the biggest difference in back, people like my grandparents. My grandpa died 2019 December. They were like 2 months shy of 60 years.
Wow.
And that's what when we were at the hospital, she said that my grandma was like, the one thing that we always did, we always talked about stuff before we went to bed. Like, we never would just go to sleep angry at each other.
Mm-hmm.
We always, work it out or whatever. And that's the thing, is nowadays people aren't willing to fight. Even if somebody if they get mad at you, or you guys get in a huge argument, or it's like, I can't believe you did that to me. You hurt me so deep that I can't get over it. People don't even want to try to get over it.
Right.
People don't want to try to fight. People are just like, I'm pissed off, I'm done, and just walk away. And I mean, it's pretty clear. Divorce rate's at 50%. I mean, you don't need a better picture than that. That it is what it is. That those are the numbers. And it's just because people aren't willing to fight. And I've been in that situation where I've been in relationships where it's just like, you're just not willing to fight for this. Like, I am, you're not. So, like, I can't stop you from leaving, but it's clear that you're just not willing to fight.
You can't test each other though either. A lot of times when you're dating, girls will test the guys, and if they don't pass the test, they'll break up with them, and that's bullshit. Women have got to stop testing guys. If they get mad, you guys get into a fight, she packs her shit, she gets in her car, she drives away like she's never coming back. If you don't go after her, you failed the test.
That's the test.
But the thing is nowadays women don't really want men. Or women are too picky with the men they want. That's
so are
the
men.
thing. But it's not at the level that women are.
My dating profile things I'm looking for is a hell of a lot shorter than the women's profiles that I see on the dating site. These women's profiles are like writing a freaking book of what they're looking for.
I would say probably about 65% of women that are single right now won't date me.
Yeah.
Because I'm only 5'10".
Oh, I'm
and I would say
you are.
95% of them are shorter than me.
Yeah.
But they will not date me because I'm 5'10".
They're 5'2", and they want a guy that's over 6 feet tall.
Yes,
right?
That's just the way it is. I've had women that are several inches shorter than me be like, I can't. Like, I need a guy that's 6 foot.
That's on them. Huh? The thing is like.
But I'm saying it's
why
huge
is that
amount
on me?
though.
I get it. Okay, so everyone is shallow. Women in, Gen X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, millennials, they're shallow. They're shallow as hell because of social media, because everything is airbrushed, because there's filters on everything. They're so freaking picky because they feel like they're going to be catfish. They feel like, they have to have this checklist. And that comes from our society. Our society has really fucked up the ability for people to have actual relationships because people are so freaking picky and shallow.
Like I said, I'll see those profiles. I won't even waste my time. But they're cute, even in my neighborhood. And it's like, I'm not going to deal with it. I just
hold on.
swipe it.
I'll let Bruce finish. That's why Bob does an online date
No.
Bob goes to bars and actually meets people face
Yeah.
to face.
Yeah. And ours were a little hard to do that here for the last year and a half, though.
Well, it has been, but still, I mean, you can go out like you go in the grocery store and stuff. If you see somebody
The only problem is if you, I found going to bars is you just run into the same people.
not necessarily. It's all about.
If you go downtown and you go to the 4 or 5 bars downtown, you will keep running into the same people.
That's why Bob doesn't go downtown. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same when you go out, and because there are some people there who need a night away from their kids, who aren't looking for action, but they're looking for some conversation. There are the same drunk women there every Friday night, and they're just looking to hop on the best looking dude in the bar. Been there, done that. I've seen it happen. But you really don't know. You really don't know until you start talking, having a conversation with people, what's on their mind. And you can't be. My brother taught me about 10 years ago. If you're out in public and you are 6 feet away from somebody and you make eye contact, say hello.
Well, I've done
I've
that.
had great
That's pretty good.
conversations with a ton of people.
But
Men,
here's
women,
a
it doesn't matter.
big problem, though.
If someone is within 6 feet of you, doesn't matter. If somebody is within 6 feet of you and you make eye contact, you just go, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's usually about as far as it goes.
Sometimes it is,
But that's
sometimes
fine,
it's not.
though.
It just all depends.
But that's all right though. I mean, you're just being polite.
You are
Yeah.
being polite.
No, I've done that. The issue is, it's just weird out there, Bob. It's just weird out there meeting people.
You
And
know,
it
it is
is.
weird, but
Half
you
of them
can't
are
be
wearing
afraid.
rings. They're wearing rings that they shouldn't be, but they're wearing rings on purpose.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
if you don't at least say, "Hey, how are you
Oh,
doing?"
I've talked to them. I have no
You're
problem.
never
talking
going to
to
get the backstory.
them. But sometimes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but no, I do it. But again, dating has been jacked up since this COVID crap started. Totally.
Sure it
jacked.
has.
Yeah.
Sure it has. But
It's just social
all
media.
I'm saying is
Where did
there's an easy way to talk to people and ditch through a fake profile. Just when you see somebody in public, like I said, if you're in a bar and you go into the bar, there's someone next to you
Yeah.
waiting to you for a drink. Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Oh, yeah, I know. I agree, but it's just as disheartening as online, but just a face to face sometimes.
Right. That's why I
Yeah.
don't go online. I
It's
talk to
it's-
face to face.
Like one of
Both
the
are
things.
pretty disheartening.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
pretty much.
like when I've gone out and like drank and still at the bar, and like I know like I approach the bar and like there's other people around me, but then I end up getting served first, but I know they were ahead of me. I would just say like just get them a drink on me, and like because like I know like they're waiting too, and so that's like what I would do, like strike conversation, like, hey, how's it going tonight? Like I know you're here first, just want to make sure you get a drink too, type thing,
This is
Like,
like
that's-
more than 12 years ago, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's what I've done though too, so
Yeah.
that also strikes up a good conversation. Just say hi real quick and just leave. Like that's it. No intentions, no nothing else. Just hi,
The
bye.
thing about it is there's just a ton of factors. It's not one thing.
Yeah,
That
but
is-
okay.
it-
It also depends on your personality though, because a lot of times, like when even now, he flirts and he does not even realize that he's doing it.
Okay,
At all.
but is it flirting if he's not doing it?
He is absolutely 100% flirting and doesn't
But so
realize
is it flirting because you think it's flirting?
No, they think it's flirting.
You sure?
Yes.
So it's flirting if they think it's flirting, but if he's just being nice in his mind, then it's not just him being nice.
He's always done it for the last
I know. Oh no, I
12
understand. He's
years.
always been a nice guy.
No.
I'm saying
It's
in
flirting.
his head he's being nice.
No,
in their
no,
head,
no.
in their head
Okay.
he's flirting.
In his
So-
in his head, he is being a nice guy, but
Yes.
in society, he is flirting 100%.
Fuck
Whether
society.
I'm the person pointing it out, our roommates pointing it out, other friends are pointing it out. He 100% flirts and does not realize it. Like he's
It's
totally
it's okay,
oblivious.
Brian. I've been accused of the same thing for sure.
But I mean, the thing is
Brian.
I know
Because
I know
I'm the
my
same way. I can
husband,
talk with anybody and
but I
think it's
know my
completely
husband
harmless.
to where I'm not gonna walk up to him in a bar and be like, "What the fuck are you flirting with that chick for?" and actually like smack him because I know that that's him. Typically, it's me apologizing, like, "I'm sorry, my husband is really drunk. Like, just don't take anything that he said to heart."
Well, like,
Yeah, see, but I
well,
think it's probably because we say too many being nice is flirting.
yeah,
Maybe
well, I
we
mean,
need to
I
tone
walked,
that down.
yeah, I mean, I walked away and I come back with our drink stuff. She's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I don't know." What do you mean, I don't know? I'm like, "I don't know." Well, it seemed like you knew her. I'm like, "Nope, no clue."
He's very
Yeah.
chummy when he drinks. Like he'll do this thing when he's really trashed, where he'll put his hand on someone's shoulder. He's like, man, like you're such a really nice guy, and like we need to get together more often. And it's like he's the governor.
Yeah,
when we
but
go to
that's
these
like a
bars.
normal thing, though.
It takes like an hour to get him out of a bar because he's doing
Wait, Brian, you're
No,
flirting
man.
with dudes?
to like
Apparently.
every single person. Guys,
You're-
girls, it doesn't matter. He will
You're flirting
talk
with
their
dudes now?
ear off.
I guess. See, Michael says that's what guys do.
Well, see, I was on a
Oh
trip
yeah, I
up
can.
in
I can
Oregon.
especially see the thing is it's especially when I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
I can sit and have a long, drawn out, nice conversation with another woman at the bar, and it literally I will walk away and go home to my girlfriend, and I won't remember a damn thing I talked about with that girl. I won't remember a thing she said.
This is literally our coats are on. We've paid our
But-
tab. We are making our way to the door. The car is started. It's the dead of winter. He will talk their ears off to the point when we get to our car, the car starter has shut off because he's been the entire time. I get so frustrated and annoyed because I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. It's bar closed. We've both had something to drink. Like, let's get home before the cops are up. Like, come on. And he's just sitting here, yak, 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 yak.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with having some healthy conversation.
There's not. There's
Yeah.
not. I was
I mean,
I
at
was
least
on a
it's
trip to
social.
Oregon with my nephew.
But yeah, at least he's social.
Yeah, my father was in the hospital. We went up to see my dad. So me and my nephew go to the mall. All right. Every cashier, I talk to her about something. So we go to the duck store, the Oregon Duck Store. So I'm talking to the girl right when I walk in. Hey, we're Dennis Dixon Go as a protein, blah, blah, blah. And my nephew at the top of his lungs, he's like 16 years old, screaming at me. Do you have to flirt with every woman you see? And I said, absolutely. Because they want more conversation than that'll be $19.99. Here's your penny back and change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kids nowadays it's just everything's just so. Our society has changed in so many different ways, and just the way people are in general. I mean, like I said, it's a factor of so many things. Social media plays a big part. I think the whole women working now and this whole feminist, I don't need a man or all that kind of stuff plays a big part in it too. So, because men used to have their role.
Men
We
did
were
used to
there
have their
to
role.
protect, provide, and that's what a woman looked for in a guy. I mean, she obviously had to like the guy, but
Uh-huh.
the general role was protect and provide. But now it's like, if you don't need them, if I don't need you to provide for me, or I can just, you know what I mean? It's just,
Okay.
women don't see it the same way. They don't value
Question.
things the same way that they used to.
Question.
Hmm.
Do you think just because a woman is independent, she's automatically a feminist?
No.
Okay. what you just said totally made it sound like that was your point of view. That's why I was
No,
like,
no. What he was saying is that's how it was like a long time ago.
Well, yeah, in 1950.
Right.
No,
But
that's
he's-
not true.
No,
My parents
but-
weren't even born yet.
right. I mean, but that's the way it was like back in the day. Is like that's.
I would say that Bob, agree with me or not. I would say that whole thing, that whole role type, didn't start to change till the late 90s.
No, it changed before that. You could tell in like the
70s.
80s. In the 80s, when I was in my 20s and I was dating, we didn't have social media, but you still had girls coming into the bars, getting all dressed up, looking for a certain type. She was either
Well, I
looking
think
for
you've
the
had that
Chippendale
always.
dancer, or she was looking like for the dude who liked Bon Jovi. Okay, but they still worked for a living, but their dependence on a man was more then than it is today. You know,
Oh, for
and
sure.
you know, and look, there's nothing wrong with a woman going out, getting a job, raising a family.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Making decisions. I have no problem with that.
No,
I have
not at
no
all.
problem with that at all. Just don't lecture me on the fact that I don't need a man to survive. Okay, fine. Then don't get pissy when no man calls you.
Because that's kind of what a lot of it's turned into. It's turned into, well,
Right.
you know, women have jobs now. They can provide now. They can do this. They
Right.
can, you know, we can do that. So I guess we just don't really need your ass.
Right.
And it's
but
like-
if you're gonna walk
it's like-
around saying I don't need a man, do not bitch at me because you can't find a man. All
Yeah.
right? That's your
Because
fault.
that
not
amount of
mine.
women is growing. The amount of women that are literally out here saying, I don't need a man, that is growing exponentially. And it's crazy to me. Because whether people want to admit it or not, well, men are the backbone of society.
Yeah.
The more we start to take masculinity away from men and take roles away from men and say we don't need men and tear men down, that will be the demise of our society.
Well, but here's the
Eventually.
deal too. Okay, here's the deal too.
Eventually it will.
All right. Women need men just as much as men need women. Okay.
Yes, in very different ways, but yes, totally agree.
So at this point, I'm going to shut up and let Danielle get shit off her mind because she's making the eyes and the face. Go ahead, Danielle. Hit us.
Okay, so word of advice, do not ever use the phrase men are the backbone of society.
We are. But go ahead.
We are.
We are.
We are.
But go ahead.
You're really not. You think
We are.
you are, but you're
We
not.
are.
What
We are.
percent
So-
of the U.S. military is made up of men?
Military is different. Backbone
There's
of the society
Okay.
is not the military.
Okay.
What I'm
So
trying
how
to
many
get-
women?
Hey,
How many
you said
women
it was
work
my
on
turn.
oil rig? How
You
many
said it was
women
my
are
turn.
underwater welders? How
You
many
said it was my
women?
turn.
Go ahead. You're right. Done.
Okay, so that phrase probably should be removed from vocabulary. Just saying. There is a
Well,
huge
why, though?
difference. Mike, it's my turn. There is a huge difference between being a feminist and being pro equality. Okay, women from back in the day were not about equality. They didn't care. There weren't glass ceilings. We're talking about a female society that is making up 60% of our gross national product because of the leadership roles that we have begun to take, because we finally have the ability to break through glass ceilings. So to say things like women are not the backbone of the society and that men are, and you guys are still the sole providers, and that needs to change. Okay, I agree with Mike. I agree with Bob. When you say that you're out there dating, you have a woman that says, I don't need no man, it's a huge turnoff. I get it. I understand that you don't want to date him. Why are you all here looking for a man if you continually sit here and say, I'm independent, I don't need no man? Okay, I get that. I agree with that.
No,
I don't think it's something that you need to
I don't
shove
need no scrub.
You don't need to shove it in the guy's face, though. You don't sit here and, like, as a breadwinner of the family, shove it in your husband's face that they're not the breadwinner, because it's not promoting equality in your relationship. There is equality issues that we have in our society. There's equality issues that we have around the world. And to say things like men are the backbone of society, I'm sorry, but I take offense to that, because I don't think that it's accurate in the year 2021. Was it accurate back in the 1960s? Yes. Was it accurate back in the 1950s? Yes. But you have to understand, behind every man is a supportive female. Just like behind every female is a supportive man when you're in a relationship. Okay? You're singles? Fine. Do your own thing. But don't sit here and say that men are the backbone of society, because we're right there next to you. We're breaking through glass ceilings every freaking day.
I think very simply, I would say, if we took the dominant male roles in society, mainly jobs and stuff like that, and the women dominant male roles in society, and we all flip-flopped, our society would come to a halt.
We'd still have potholes.
Plain and simple. If we took all the men out of the military, if we switch the amount of military with men and women, if we switch the amount of line guys that work the line, guys that work the oil rigs,
you can't say that.
Kind of
you
stuff.
Can't say that about the women in military, because Israel's been doing it for a long time, very successful with women in military.
That's completely different. Their military is completely different than our military.
Right.
And without us, Israel would be taken over.
Yeah.
So it's completely different.
Yeah.
We can stand alone against anybody. Israel could not. So
hey, how did we get into this subject? Who started this?
Danielle?
I don't know.
Danielle.
It was Danielle. I don't even know how. It just graduated like it always does. It just moved on from one thing to another.
Yeah. No.
I wanted to clarify the statement that Mike and Bob made about men being the backbone of society, because I don't think that is accurate. That's all.
Unfortunately, money always is an issue within marriage, no matter if both couples are making a lot of money, whether one's making more than the other one. There's always money issues.
We weren't talking about money, though. We were talking about.
We weren't talking about money, John.
We were talking about the role of men.
Even the roles
versus women in society.
Even the
nothing
roles.
to do with money, though.
Even the roles have changed in the last 10, 15 years.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that chose to stay home because the wife made more money and they wanted to raise the kids.
We're just talking about men's roles in society.
That's a role change. That's the role change. You know, when you decide, when a man decides to stay home.
Let me just ask one simple question, and then I will shut the hell up. We can move on.
Yeah.
Bruce, when you were in construction, what was the ratio of men to women out there building shit for you?
Overall, in all the trades and 40 years in the trade, I would say one woman to maybe 200 guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And same was for the trucking industry for years when I was in the trucking industry.
But you're not taking into consideration the number of women that would have liked to go into that field but couldn't because they didn't have a penis. And all that would happen is they would be sexually harassed.
We had nothing to do with it.
No, I tried. I tried.
Honestly, it had nothing to do with it, because what would happen was
in our region, it did.
In my region, no. In California, the women could literally walk into the apprenticeship program and get a job that day because they needed women to fill the percentages in it. The problem was, let me finish. The problem was when the women got in it, they couldn't do the job. Physically, they could not do the job. Mentally, they were sharp as a tack. Physically, they could not do the job.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
All right. So it had nothing to do with the opportunity. The opportunity was there. The women could literally walk
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the apprenticeship program.
I
Literally.
mean, I'm not
Literally.
gonna.
And they given a job.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I seen it. Even the California Fire Department was going to
Yeah.
change the classifies for the amount of weight that a person needed to drag out of a burning building
Right.
because they needed to hire more women, and women couldn't pick up and move a 150-pound bag because it was just too heavy for the average woman to move safely the proper way, because there is a proper way to move a body in a fire, especially if the person's knocked out conscious on the ground. There's a certain way you have to pick them up and move them. And the California Fire Department was going to change the weight limit just so they could hire more women. And I don't think that's right, because what happens if there is a 160-pound woman or 160-pound man or woman in
And
a
that's
burning
a small
building?
man.
Yeah, in a burning building, and that woman physically can't move that guy. Does she going to stop and go find somebody else to go get that person to help them move that body? I mean, that's where I draw the line. I believe women could do any job that any man can do mentally, but physically there are limitations, Daniel. You have to admit that. There are limitations to certain types of jobs that probably Mike and Bob are talking about that women might not physically, no, mentally, probably knock it out of the park. Probably smarter than 80% of the guys that are out there.
Some of these gals that got in were sharp as a tack, but physically they couldn't.
Or they physically can do the job. They just choose not to. Because a lot of women don't want to work on a construction site for 10, 15 hours out in the friggin' sun. A lot of women don't want to do that. No. Not for the money that they're making, when they could probably move on to a different type of job in an office or nurse.
Ours paid well. You get
no, that's what I'm saying.
As a trade person.
I believe that any woman could do any job they want to mentally, yeah. But physically there are limitations to certain jobs that are pretty much designed around a man to do. Yeah, you know, that's just I don't know what to say. That's just common nature.
Well, and the way construction works is it's called a labor unit, not a man unit, not a woman.
It's a labor
unit.
It's
unit. Called a labor unit, right? So the labor unit is based on how much labor or that person can do in a period of time. Not a man, not a woman, right? And that's it.
Yeah.
So if that person can't hit that unit, then they're not doing the job.
Yeah, that's the way it was when I worked at Lawrence Livermore Lab. That wall takes 3 hours to build 2 guys, and that was the limit. If you couldn't do it in that time, you didn't get that you didn't get that job done. You were gone. But let me one more thing, and the same thing applies in the trucking industry. I've been in the trucking industry a long time, and for a long time, women would not jump into that industry for a couple reasons. One, we didn't have power steering back then. So a lot of women couldn't turn that wheel, physically could not turn that wheel in that truck. Now we have automatics. They have power steering. Basically everything is done for them. Look at the trucking industry now. It's full of women because they can actually physically now do the job that took a bigger man to do. So I believe you. I know what you're saying. I'm backing you up. I do. I just don't think physically they can't do certain jobs.
I agree. Hi, Morgan. Hi. I agree with the whole physical part of it. I agree that, when you look at construction sites, typically it's, the men are using the heavy machinery. The men are the ones cutting the concrete. They're the ones shoveling the stuff, and the chicks are the ones standing there, holding the stuff. What I'm getting at is when you talk about the backbone of a society, you're also talking about the executive leadership that goes behind the laborers, right? Okay, so you're talking about the CEOs, the CFOs, you're talking about chief operating officers, project managers, right? You're not just talking about blue-collar workers. The backbone of society, if you've looked at it in the last 20 years and the trend, the number of female executives across all different industries has increased by 200%. Okay. Those considerations, that's breaking the glass ceiling if you look at it from where I'm at. Because if I tried to be a project manager back in 2005 after having an internship in California and trying to come back to North Dakota with a resume that I had, my resume ended up on the freaking floor because I was a chick. I didn't have a penis, so they wouldn't even let me start looking at construction project management. So instead, I went into the financial industry. I went into the retirement industry. I went into breaking down the barriers and actually providing the backbone for people's retirement, whether they're blue collar or white collar. And that's what I'm talking about. When you say the backbone of society, you have to consider the white collar and the blue collar.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Blue
have.
collar. Blue
Well,
collar.
the way I looked at it, because I was blue collar, this is my revelation in the construction industry.
Yeah.
You could have all the white collar you want, but unless you got the blue collar working, which is the backbone of building society,
I was
the
just
white
going to
collar
say
ain't
that.
doing shit because the blue
Nope.
collar is supporting the white collar.
We're the ones getting you the contracts to do the work. We're the ones winning the bids to actually put you to work.
I can do
don't
all
have
that
the
stuff as
bids,
a
you're
blue
not
collar. I
winning
don't
the
need a
bids,
white collar
you're
to
not
do
gonna
that
get it.
crap. No,
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
it doesn't matter. If
There
the
has
white
to
collar
be
can
equality.
sit there and throw any number they want at it, but if you got nobody to do the job, it don't make
That's
a
why
hell
I'm
of a difference.
talking gender equality.
And it's
Period.
getting there, Bruce. It's getting there because a lot of people don't want to do that work anymore.
They don't want to get in the trades. They want to
Yeah,
walk
see,
around and get
but
the
the
easy money
difference
creating
is-
an app.
That's society too, because I was just talking with my dad about this because he's an engineer. The difference is in 2005,
I do.
most of the project managers coming up and stuff like that were, Bruce, tell me if I'm wrong, guys that were in the field.
Yes, that was your
But
that was
now-
your general progression. Now they're coming right out of
You
college.
came up through the job, learned the job, did the job, and then became the manager.
Yeah.
But
You had that
now they're
field experience.
Yep. But now they're choosing degrees over field experience.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why more women can go into it, because it wasn't so much necessary that they were like, oh, you're a woman, we're not going to pick you. It was just, you didn't come up through the job. You didn't do the work. We're going to pick this guy that did the work
Yeah.
and has done the work. But now they care more about a degree than they do about work experience and coming up through the job. So of course, I mean, if a woman's got the degree, who cares? Because she doesn't have the work experience and neither does the guy.
Yep.
So
Well, and the
it doesn't
problem I
matter.
had is they couldn't bring me up into the office because I was too valuable in the field, right? So that happens. Sometimes you become so valuable out in the field doing the projects and running the jobs
Mhm.
that they cannot bring you into the office because then they've lost that asset in the field.
Oh, that's
Right.
happened a lot. That's happened a lot. It happens a lot with truck
Oh yeah,
drivers.
because they can continue to replace guys in
In
the
the office.
office.
Right.
They can continue to roll through that Rolodex.
Right.
You
Yeah,
can't
right.
roll through a Rolodex of a guy in
With-
construction that knows
With
what he's doing.
30 years on the job experience. It ain't, it
Nope.
ain't gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, I filled in one day as a dispatcher for the company I was working for, and they're like, "We need to move you in here, but we can't do it. We can't get
Right.
another guy to do what you're doing." And there's like, "You're the only guy that knows how to use the mapping software. You're the only guy that understands where Oakland and San Francisco is." And it was just like, And for me, I was like, it was more money and I get to go home at night. I'm like, hell yeah, I want that job. And then they would never, ever let me go into the office for that
No.
simple reason is they knew they couldn't fill my spot out on the road. And it was just ridiculous. It used to drive me insane. Hi, Morgan.
I had
Hey,
my
how was
glasses
work?
on, so I
How
had
was
to
work,
squint.
Morgan?
Oh God. Where
Did you get tipped
do
well
I
tonight?
start?
Did you get tipped well tonight?
I
Do you
don't
get
know.
what
I
do you
barely-
get? I know you don't want to disclose this information,
Okay.
but how much on average night do you get making tips?
Well, I actually don't. I
Oh.
make hourly.
No tippies?
They don't share?
Well, not exactly. The way it works is that I get so like instead of getting tipped out at the end of each night, it's kind of a like we all get like a bonus with every check.
It's
So
to
even
keep
though I
tax
don't-
people happy.
Huh?
It's to keep the tax people happy because a lot of waiters and waitresses and busboys weren't claiming tips on their fucking.
Well, and keep in mind too, this is a small business,
Yeah.
small, local business too. So it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So some nights are good. I wasn't really paying attention tonight because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I had no time to just stand somewhere and look at something for,
You take the
for the
tip
2
if he gives
seconds.
you a tip, though, right? If someone
Huh?
if someone were to slide a tip on the table, you're putting it in your pocket.
Maybe, but I don't often do that though. But once again, it's one of those situations where no one wants to work.
Yeah.
Someone went on vacation, and guess who has to pick up the slack?
So you
do.
still having a hard time hiring people because everybody's getting that free paycheck still?
It's
No,
Wisconsin. You're in
we-
Wisconsin, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we have the people, but the problem is that most of them are high school age.
Oh, they're the worst.
So they say, "Oh yeah, I can work, these days, these hours, or whatever," and then all of a sudden, "Oh, I need somebody to cover my shift." Oh, it's like, okay, so it's like, why are you here again? Like, you say you can work, and then you don't. It's like, so yeah, tonight was a shit show. It was only me and one other girl, and of course, I'm the only one of age to,
Sure.
serve alcohol. So I'm running back and forth, bar, dining room, bar.
Well, what's the? Isn't it 18? It's 18 here, right, Bob, to serve alcohol?
No,
as a waiter?
18 to serve closed, 21 to serve
Yeah,
open.
18 with an off-sale permit, 21 with an on-sale permit.
Okay.
So I was going to say up here it's 21 to pour, and 18 you can bring out.
You can bring out.
Oh, and I was pouring tonight.
I was pouring.
I was pouring tonight. I just,
Yeah,
and see, here's the
if you're in
thing.
a restaurant, the
Yeah, it's a
person
restaurant.
pouring has to be 21.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and see, here's the thing. I would think by now, especially with everything that's happened with the pandemic or whatever, I would think that people would be a little bit more patient.
Nope.
No.
People in okay, so just to kind of give you a quick layout of the restaurant, you walk in, there's 2 rows of of like booth seating, and then there's like 5 kind of like longer tables in the middle. Michael, don't even start. don't even start. I will drive.
You already made
I
a
will
comment
put
about
you
where
in
you're
your
riding your
house.
big wheel home from work tonight.
Listen, my nerves today are like this much. Me and the other waitress are running around like chickens with our heads cut off because we have, of course, the dine-in people, and then to-go orders. People calling over the phone, DoorDash.
DoorDash. Mm.
There was this one table that I swear to God, I almost kind of like broke down at one point because I was getting so pissed off. You got the 2 guys over there. They ordered beers. They're doing this with their glasses, and I'm like, that's when I texted the group chat. I said, people are testing me today.
Yeah.
People are getting on my last damn nerve.
Well, you're gonna like the weird news tonight. The weird
Great.
news segment is
Awesome.
nasty surprise as man is bitten by python while sitting on the toilet. The man was 65 years
Wait,
old
was
and
this in
said he went to
Florida?
sit on the toilet when the snake bit him in his junk. It bit the fucking guy in his junk.
Well, this has got to be in over the third world country somewhere.
Austria
Florida?
Yeah.
is in Austria.
Austria. Oh.
Yeah, in the toilet. What the
They
fuck
have
is a
pythons in
6-foot
Austria?
python? And it ended up being somebody's pet.
Oh,
And they
Yeah.
found out this guy's got like 25 snakes in his apartment building.
It's like Morgan the Snake Girl, huh?
And it got out, of course, and got in this guy's toilet. And this guy went to sit down to go to the bathroom, and the damn snake bit him in his junk.
I mean,
Now,
He was probably
Doesn't
hungry,
anybody
so
look-
that,
Doesn't
dang
anybody
buddy.
look in the bowl before they sit down?
I don't.
I
I
mean,
thought
I
about
would.
this, Bruce.
I look
thought
in the
about-
bowl
I mean, I look.
every fucking time
You do.
before I sit
Me
down.
home,
Yeah.
though? At home?
Every fucking time.
At your home, though.
Me
I
too.
can understand doing. I do that at other people's
Everywhere.
houses or
At
restaurants.
I do it
home,
everywhere.
too.
But at my house, I know it's flushed. I don't look. I know.
Yeah,
You don't
there's
look
a
before
spider
you
or
sit
something
down?
in there.
At home, I don't. But everywhere else, I do. I always look before I sit
I
down.
always look.
I don't want something plopping back up at me when I'm sitting
Yeah,
down.
I've had only 2 out of the 5 of my ball pythons have ever escaped. One of them, it was 3 times that he got out, and then one was only once. But yeah, after the 3rd time, I looked at Corey and I said, we need to get like cage. Well, and this was at the point too where I had, just those like glass,
I mean,
terrarium.
they're strong enough to push a lid off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but
Is this Venomon? Is there
No.
any poison in their bite?
no, they're the
It still
constrict-
had to hurt in the junk, dude. I mean, in the junk. That's
Well, okay, well, wait. Do you know? Okay, so see, here's the thing. I've only been bit once, and it was with one of my babies, and it was just one of those things where we just got him. I was reaching in to grab him. I hesitated, a second too long, and he just got me real quick, just like right on the. It was just a quick tag. Their teeth are so tiny, even as Michael. God damn it! Teletubbies. I watched that as a kid. I watched Blue's Clues. Yeah, Dora. Let's see. He said, "Oh, Brian." Yeah, Dora. I didn't watch that as much, a little bit, but anyway,
Well, he said it didn't let go, so it was stuck on. Yeah, it was
frick,
stuck,
right.
and then it finally let go and went
They
back
put
into.
some vodka in there. Like one quick way to get them off of you is you put like some hand sanitizer or like vodka or just because they don't like the.
Well, I'm sure he didn't have a glass of vodka in the bathroom.
Well, quick run and grab one and
As you're running through your house with the snake stuck to
Are
your.
you happy to see me, or is that a snake on your balls?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And now
people
they're
are just assholes. That's the conclusion I've reached tonight. People are assholes.
they're going after
People
that
are.
guy, I guess, for mistreating some of the snakes. So I think
Really?
yeah, because
well, they probably went to investigate his house. Maybe.
yeah, they did. They went and investigated his house, and he got fined for some mistreatment of some. They didn't get him for the bite or anything like that, but
Right,
just for
but
some of the snakes he was mistreating. So they got him
Well,
on
there
a
was
animal violation.
well,
Yeah, animal violation of owning a python.
Python.
Mike.
Well, it's it's 5
Like I
feet
said, I've been
or 6
owning-
foot. That's a baby.
Nuh-uh.
5-6 feet.
No, that's an adult.
That's an adult.
Well, depends on what kind of snake it was. I mean, I have 2 adult ball pythons. They're each 4.5 feet.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of just depends on what snake it is. I mean, if it's a ball python, 6 feet is. I mean, there's some cases of them getting that big, but it's very, very
That's
rare.
what I have.
What the hell do you even
That's
do?
that's
I
a
mean,
pet.
It's on your junk. I mean, you can't
That's a
slap
pet.
it. Yeah. If
Well,
that
no,
gets a
I mean,
hold
if
of
you slap it, it's just gonna
Mike,
strict
there's a snake there,
fighter.
Mike?
if that gets a
Huh?
hold of your junk, you're
Are you
done,
showing a
Bri-
snake
Mike.
or what?
Yeah. If that gets hold of
Yeah.
your junk, you're dead.
You're done.
Yeah,
No.
your junk's gone. But
No, it's not. No,
A
it's
pit bull?
Hey, how would you like to be swallowed balls first?
That pit bull be going, ooh, is that a sausages? Sausages?
It's not.
That's like a horror movie, man.
I was gonna say the
I
dog
thought
will
he
kill
was
the
going to
snake.
go after me when I first got him, because he was my ex-girlfriend's, and we always had to kick him out of the room when we were trying to have sex. But one time we were trying to be sneaky about it, and in the middle of it, he woke up and realized what was going on, and he was getting aggressive, and he was trying to get down to that area,
Yeah.
and she had to like grab him to pull him away from
Oh, the
us.
snake,
Yeah,
huh?
no.
No, my pit bull.
Oh, your pit. Oh, the pit. Oh, yeah, dogs do
Because
that,
it was
yeah.
hers.
Oh, is that
So
what
he
you call
was
it? Yeah.
he liked me, but he was more protective over her because
Ours?
he was
Okay.
he was hers.
Yeah.
So my dog, I
You
got
were
my
hurting
dog
her, Mike.
before
You
I
were
got my
hurting her.
husband. I got my dog before I got my husband. And when we first started dating, every single time we were intimate, the dog would get so mad and so afraid that he would just go and shit in a random corner of the house. We had to literally put him in his crate before we were intimate to avoid him shitting anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, he would just try to get through the door. If we'd kick him out and he heard her, he would literally start yelping and barking and jumping on the door to get in. That's how he was. But
So you have the dog now, Mike?
Yeah, he kept it.
yeah. When we broke up, she couldn't take him home, and so she left him with me. And then like 6 months later, she tried to get him back when she was going to move in with her new boyfriend, and I said no.
No.
Kept the dog. Huh?
Yep. I said, fuck you, I'm keeping the dog.
So which one of these sites are you going to try out first, Mike? Are you going to look?
These?
Russians
gonna-
are hot, but they might be crazy.
Meet gorgeous Russians, Colombian ladies.
If, John was checking into, but he says the minimum bid is $5,000.
There's not
$5,000.
one. I got $5,000 easy. There's not one for Italians.
I didn't see an Italian. These are the top sites right here, and I can't read that first one.
Crazy.
They said the
Psycho.
women outnumber
Asian
the
beauties,
men in
the
Russia
Asian
like,
beauties,
like something awful.
Asian lady dates.
I guess I might go with Russian.
There's your Russian women average cost is. That's just to talk to them.
Well,
Ukraine.
the Asian women are half the price, Mike.
Yeah, Asians are half the price, so keep that in.
Oh, that's true.
In consideration, and
So
they'll
it's
watch
like
Two for the price. Two for the price of one.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, it's gonna be like a 2-for-1 special there.
Before you
for
do that,
one.
you need to watch 90 Day Fiance because every one of those demographics is fucking nuts.
Yeah. I can believe that. They're all freaking nuts here.
Yeah, seriously.
And I was reading up, but most of all these marriages they're protected once they get to the U.S. by
All of my ex-girlfriends have cost me more than $4,000. So
Yep.
I forget, Danielle. Do you know it's a special women's group that protects these girls when they come here? I can't remember what it was called. I looked it up, and they're automatically visited by this group in the United States. Every single one of them. I forget what's United.
What's the factors affecting the pricing here, John?
Well, just to talk to the Russian women is going to cost you $4,000. That's just
No,
to
no.
say
I want to see what's down below though. Factors that affect mail order bride pricing.
pricing. Oh, what affects the pricing?
Right.
popularity.
Convenience, mobility, pricing, functionality, safety. Are you considering this?
No.
Are you considering? I forget the name of the group, but here's a quick one. Look.
Oh, bullshit.
They got prices on those?
Bullshit.
Like straight up bullshit.
They don't look
Now.
nothing like that. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I am sure that that's how they look, right? Yeah.
They're all
Yeah,
look like
right.
that. Every
Yep.
single one of them.
Yep.
And live there.
How many? I mean, not to say it, but I mean, how many busty
They
Asian
just
women
they just
have you
talk to
seen?
these guys. They have no. It's these women are either actually here already, and they just talk to these guys, get the money, and then never goes further
Yep.
than that.
Oh, no, these sites are all been these
They're all
ones that
vetted. Are they all vetted?
yeah, they're all legit.
They're all
Yeah, John.
BBA.
John, one of
Yeah.
our viewers said, "Click the chat now and see what happens."
Oh hell
because
no.
you're gonna have $4,000.
Hell
Okay,
no.
Oh,
I'm
you gotta
sorry,
have
but
it.
If
You got to pull
you're
the
gonna
plastic
be-
card out right off the back.
Which ones do you want me to go to? Which one do you want me to go
scroll
to?
down, scroll down a little bit more on the girls. that have
I'll
the
go
chat
to
now
the
button.
site.
No.
I'll go to
Yeah,
the site.
no. Yeah.
Which site do you want me to go to? Find
This is
Asian
abs-
beauties, meet gorgeous Russians.
No, the Russian one.
Okay,
No,
the
John,
Russians.
if you scroll down to the girls,
Click in the chat.
You wanted to
I'm
see the
not clicking it.
chat now thing. Oh, here it is. Oh,
All right.
it's like
Yeah,
Red
right.
light
She don't
district.
look like that. Fuck out of here.
Red light district. That's all it is. It's probably a man.
Hey, do you know which one's the guy? Which one's the girl, John?
I gotta put all this shit in.
And you'll get tons of mail too.
I'm an old fucker. I
You're
gotta
gonna
go
ask
way
for you're gonna ask for a credit card eventually.
watch. We'll see what happens.
You need the month.
Oh, did I put the month? Oh,
No.
June. Now you all know my birthday. I am expecting gifts. Oh, sure. Why not? My name, Bob Sharp. No.
Any regular big girls?
Yes,
Model
girls.
type.
it's an email
Model
address. You're gonna
type.
Mo-
get
Hey, go.
spam.
Hey,
I'm not
model
putting my
type. You
email-
want the model type,
I
John?
ain't putting my email address in there. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, fuck, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm done. The
You'll
search,
get a carful call from the FBI.
yeah. We're not going any further. Now they know my
Homeland-
name is Bob, and I'm born in June 3rd, 1968.
Yep. Homeland Defense will be knocking on your door because you're.
Well, let's see if it's the
you're
same
colluding
thing.
with the Russians.
Let's
Yeah,
see if
you're
it's-
colluding with the Russia collusion.
Look, they're basically the same site because it's the same process.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, for the Asian girls, let's see if it's the same for the Asian ladies. Visit site.
Yeah, because they're all at the same telemarketing center.
Oh wait, this one's different.
Everyone, AsianLadyDate.com.
Oh,
Join
God.
free, John.
That
What
is
you want?
that
How
has
do you
sex
feel if
trafficking
they say-
written all over it.
How
If the
do you
woman makes
feel
the
if a
first
woman
step.
makes the first step? Good.
Lucky.
That has sex trafficking written
What is
all
your
over
age
it.
group? I'm going to go 30, 40. Your preferred woman, Asian, Vietnam, or both?
Oh, both. Go
Wait,
both.
wait, wait a minute. Why do they have Vietnam separate from?
Well,
Yeah,
Asian
they're-
is
because it's
probably
cheaper.
more like
It's-
China.
Yeah, I'll
Because
go both.
Vietnam is cheaper.
I go. I have 78,548 women available to me right now.
Wow, John. Man, you got the pick of the litter.
I ain't doing any of this.
I'm telling you, dude, they're gonna ask for your shit.
I'm
They're
not
gonna ask for
do
your
it.
And
email.
half
I
of
promise
them are
you.
men.
I
pretending
just wanted to
be
see some
women.
damn pictures, man.
Just do the autofill. Let's see what happens.
No, I'm not doing the autofill. Brian, you're our stat guy. You should do the autofill.
You've got it
I
right
know,
there.
I'm
I didn't do a thing.
I'm not going to click chat now. I don't think it works anyway.
Michael, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna
All right,
kick.
I want to
Hey,
chat with
chat
her.
now. There you go.
All right, let's see where it takes me.
I
see,
love
It's
you.
gonna
just-
take
it
you to
just-
the same place.
Yeah,
dude.
it just takes you to the same place.
It's gonna take you
I
to the
love
same
you a long
thing.
time, Johnny.
I love you. I wash your feet. I wash your feet. Enterprise versus price start at $10. See,
That
they got
looks
a
like
couple places.
that looks like a white chick.
Well, they're
yeah,
Russian or white.
yeah.
Oh, is this Russian?
Well, it could be a Russian.
Online communication. You see, you can
This
send
is-
gifts. It says
Isn't
the average
this
cost for a
isn't mail
small-
order bride illegal?
No, but it's
No,
sketchy
no.
as shit. Come on.
See, they get you to buy them presents through their
Yep.
site.
Yep.
The average
And
cost
then
of
they
small
resell
souvenir
them
is
for
$50. Expect to spend at least $1,000 a year if you want to improve your relationship with the mail order bride. So you're looking at $1,000 just in gifts.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
just
you-
all you talk to them, you send
Yeah.
them gifts,
It's all
and nothing
courting.
ever
It's all
comes of
courting
it.
thing, and then you got to fly over there, which is going to cost you about $2,000.
It's online red light district. That's all
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah. See, well, the
go-
mail
and
order
it-
bride wife would cost. See, it cost can range from $500 to $30,000. Depends on what.
30,000.
Yeah,
Plus,
30,000.
if it actually works out, depending on the country of origin, there's a dowry that needs to be paid to their family.
She don't look Asian.
That's American.
She looks Americana.
That's Latino.
Yeah, she looks Latina.
American and Latina, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike, I think
Yeah.
you should start a GoFundMe account and just sign
No.
up to one of these.
Yeah, no.
No, you know
If
what?
they come up with an Italian one, maybe.
Oh well, I could tell you. I forgot your divorce rate in Italy.
Hey, John, you'll probably get an Amazon survey about your purchase.
Yeah, see, divorce rate's low in Italy.
Exactly, that's what I said.
It's 1.5. So yeah, it's 3.21% out of 1,000 get married, and so that's still half, Mike. That's still half.
What is it?
It's 3.2 right now per 1,000 people get married in Italy, and the divorce rate is 1.5.
That's half.
Yeah, so half of them are still getting divorced in Italy.
That's the same as in the U.S. almost. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like like I said, the two lowest were Vietnam and
Yeah,
Africa's
places
low.
where you get killed if you get divorced.
Yeah, South Africa's low, 0.6. Shit, there's quite a few pretty low ones. I mean, this is a high percentage and a low divorce rate. And see, United Arabs, 2.8 per thousand, and 0.7 get divorced. But that's because we already know they kill them if you try to divorce your husband over there. And the United States, 6.5 and 2.9. So 6.5 per
That's less
thousand.
than half.
Yeah, and 2.9 end up in divorce. So don't get married. I don't know. All right. Since we have the two youngsters on the show tonight,
We had.
we
but
have
got one still.
no. We still have the two young
Oh,
ones
Mike-
that are
Mike and-
not
Mike and
that are
Morgan.
not. They're not married, and they're both kind of in that demographic. You know,
Em-
20,
Em-
21, 30.
I got Eminem.
You know, does marriage mean the same thing? Does marriage mean the same thing to you as it means to me? Is it a big deal to get married to you, Morgan?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Because here's the thing, like it's kind of interesting because you talk about like should people still get married? It's kind of funny because like my dad is like debating that whole like same thing like right now, and it shocks me because like growing up like neither just gonna ignore him
I'm
just
gonna ignore it. Let it go. Morgan.
right just let it go.
Let it go.
They never said or displayed any kind of like any reasoning behind why I wouldn't still want to get married, but I'll say especially after my mom and my dad each going through a divorce again somewhat recently, it's kind of, I mean, I'll admit I've kind of wondered to myself what's the point anymore, because I haven't personally had behavior of making a marriage last. I've never had that modeled for me, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's hard. Yeah.
I mean, I have great grandparents, and other grandparents who have modeled that, but directly in my immediate sphere.
But you know what not to do wrong, though. You know what not to do wrong in a marriage.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically.
But I mean, it's still one of those things where I sometimes, question it. Well, because for example, like my dad and my stepmom were married 11 years, and I thought things were fine. And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm texting my stepmom, and she's like, yeah, there's stuff going on, but I'm trying to light a fire under your dad's ass to tell you or whatever. And then that day, I found out. Bam, they're getting divorced. That's it. And I just kind of thought to myself for a little while, I thought, here, like on the outside, you think, hey, things are going well, things are okay. And then just in an instant, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
And so part of me kind of sometimes worries that I might be that way. I'd like to think not. But I mean, it's a complicated situation.
In the back of your mind.
Well, right, and
Yeah,
it's just a very complicated, thing, for me. So, ideally, yes, I want to get married. I want to have children. One day after getting married. But there's been a lot of times in my life so far that I've seriously questioned that.
Yeah. How about you, Mikey?
Actually, if you don't mind, Mike, I'd like to kind of help Morgan out a little bit.
Yeah.
Here.
Words of wisdom from Danielle.
So
it's her new segment.
You can't base your future on things that have happened in other relationships. Whether it's your actual parents' divorce, your dad, your stepmom, their divorce, that sort of thing. Because what you see is not what happens behind closed doors. So with you and your current fiance, you are the only two people in your relationship. You are the only two people that know the ins and outs of everyday life between the two of you. So when you know that kind of information, and you can know that you're 100% dedicated to that one person, the rest is all just smoke and mirrors. You can't base your future marriage on other people's past failures. Because if you do that, you're going to set yourself up for doubt. You're going to set yourself up for failure. And then what's the point? You're going to end up alone because you're jaded based on other people's experiences. You haven't experienced it. If you have doubts based on your own personal experience with Corey, that's one thing. If you have doubts based on other people's experiences, that's another. So you need to base it 100% on your interactions with your fiance. Don't think about your dad, your stepmom. Don't think about your mom, your stepdad. Think about you. Think about your fiance. Think about your future. You can't base it on somebody else's history.
I mean, yeah, like I agree with that, for sure. My only thing is though, again, just taking for example, well, and again, yeah, I suppose specifically, between my dad and stepmom's divorce. I mean, because I wasn't living with them, anymore, so it's like, yeah, truly, I didn't really know what was going on behind, closed doors per se. But it's like in the back of my head, it's kind of like, well, okay, they were together, 11 years. It's like, is that theoretically, well, and, I'll say, too, to kind of, throw this in is that, my dad with his new girlfriend, I mean, he's already straight up told me, he's like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get married. Don't really think we will.
Here's a question. Do you think that your relationship right now with who you're with is the exact same as like your folks' relationship? It's a yes or no question, real quick.
No.
Okay.
Then
So-
why base it on it?
Right.
Well-
Because you're creating your own path. You're not following anybody else's path. Everything's not the
well, right.
same.
I mean-
nothing else like that. It's just
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, like I agree with that. But I mean, there's
The back of your mind needs to shut the fuck up.
well,
I
yeah,
know.
and and I agree with that. But
Yeah.
I think
You
when
still can't
you're
help
dealing
it,
with
yeah.
things in real time, though, too, because I'm, I'll admit, I mean, my parents have kind of, unfortunately, I mean, have had kind of the bad habit, even from when I was younger, telling me shit that I had no business,
Right.
Yeah.
That's
No.
on them, though.
Well, right,
Learn
and
from that.
I'm not,
You know
not
not
saying
to
that
do
it's
that
not.
to your kids.
Well, you kind of make your own path, Morgan. For example, like my parents, my mother was married 5 times and divorced.
Yeah.
My wife's mother was married 5 times and divorced.
Wow.
My wife and I were married for 33 years until she passed.
Yeah.
So we did not have a relationship to model our marriage on at all
Yeah.
for the
Right.
33 years we were married. But we
And
walked
that's
our
the
own
thing
path.
is,
Yeah.
We did our
Brian
own
and I-
mistakes. We did our own errors. We found our own way, But
Our parents, so
Yeah.
Brian's parents and my parents, they're both still married.
Yeah.
They've both been married over 40 years so far. I have seen things in my parents' marriage that I will never do to my husband because I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
right.
Different times. Different
Yeah,
times.
I mean,
Yeah.
the sniping that my mom does at my dad, and the cheating that my dad does
Wow.
towards my mom, I would never, ever accept that in my marriage. And
Right.
there are
There's
things
no way
that
I'm doing
have
it 7
happened in
times.
His
Yeah.
parents' marriage
Fuck no.
that he doesn't agree with and would never model for his marriage.
Dude,
So
is there
I
even
think
enough time in someone's life to be married 7 fucking times, dude?
Well, apparently there is.
But I think that the thing is, you can't base your future on the past. 100%, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cannot base
Yeah, no,
your
I agree with
future.
that.
Wants to speak. Go ahead, Bob. I love what you
Can't
have
hear
to
you,
say.
Bob.
Can't hear you, Bob. Can't hear you.
Sorry. I have
There
a
you go.
brother. I have a
Yeah.
brother who was married 3 times and got a girlfriend pregnant.
Woo.
7 daughters. 4 out of the 7 are married, and they've been married for a long time. The other 3 are screwed up. I don't know. But you
know.
you cannot base your relationship with Corey on the past of other people. My grandmother, I love her to death. Grandma, I love you to death. My grandma was a whore. My grandmother had a new guy every other month when my mom was growing up.
Yeah.
My mom moved a lot.
Yeah.
I've had 3 uncles and then 2 aunts on my grandma's side. All of them were married 50 plus years.
Yeah.
So you can't base
Yeah.
what your parents do on what you want to do. It's your decision. You don't think about, well, my mom and dad did this. That has nothing to do with it. What has to do with it is how you feel about Corey and how Corey feels about you. Period. Dead end.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then and
That's
then
all that matters.
and at that point, you can also be objectively looking at what is the good that you see in the relationship, and what is like, oh, I wouldn't walk that road in my relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's touch on Mike. Mike, what's holding you up, man?
I'm not touching
Nice.
anything on Mike.
I
Mike,
think Mike nodded off.
Yeah,
Mike-
pause.
Mike, what's holding you up, Mike? You should have like 3 kids already. What are you, 30?
31.
Yeah, you should have at least 3 kids by now.
He might already. Maybe he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, maybe I just don't know.
What's holding Mike up?
I don't
Do
know.
you now I know your parents have been together a long time,
40 years.
40 years. And now how many of your brothers and sisters are married?
Out
Out of the 12
Out
that
of
you
the-
have.
of the 9 of us, 6 are married. 6 are married, 1's engaged.
One's engaged. And they're all
And
been
2
married to the same person. No
Yes.
divorces. Yeah.
No divorces.
No divorces. And your family is very Christian, very
Yeah.
religious people. So
Yep.
I'm going to be your dad. Okay. Right now, Mike, I want grandkids. What the hell's the holdup? You're 30.
My parents don't ever say that to me. They have like 17 grandkids.
I got enough grandkids keeping busy. Yeah.
They
You know
don't
what?
need grandkids from me. That's where I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, my
17.
parents worry about me being single,
That's what I'm
but-
saying. But
I don't
you,
ever get the grandkid thing.
you have a good structure of marriage in your life. Your mom and dad's been married a long time. All your brothers and sisters have successful marriages. What's scaring you?
It's nothing's scaring me. I'm not scared of finding somebody and being with somebody.
Just had
Technically,
I'm
you're-
not the type of guy in
Technically, you're-
today's day
when
and
you're
age.
dating
I'm not the type
women
of guy
that are
that's sought
20 years
after.
older than you. When you're dating 20 years, women 20 years older than
I
you,
don't date
tells
women
me-
20 years older than
that
me.
tells me you're not looking for a marriage.
No, I don't date women that are 20 years older than me.
We
just
know you
because
like the older women.
just
We know you like
because I've had relations with a couple women that were older than me
all right.
doesn't mean I'm just out here dating 50-year-olds. Okay,
Mike,
I'm
listen,
just not
we're
the type
talking
of guy
about-
that's.
We're talking about there's cougars, and then what's the other one? Leopards or whatever it is, or
I have no
Cubs,
idea what
Cubs.
that is.
Pumas.
Cubs. Cubs. Cubs are the girls that are his age, and Cougars are the older ones.
no? But there's another bracket now.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
Pumas or something like that?
Huh?
I'm not hip enough to
No,
know
it's
that
another
other
animal.
They came
but
up with another
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 breed.
animal after cougar.
I
now.
thought they did.
Older women than Cougars.
Older. There's cougars up to an age, and then now after that age, there's
A
another
lioness,
animal.
a lioness, a
No, I think
lioness.
it's called like a leopard or something like that. I don't know what it was, but
Oh,
I heard it on this show.
That's
from
like
somebody.
70 or 80, right?
Yeah.
Woo.
I think Jen was actually the one that told us about it.
Damn, I don't know if I want to mess around in that department.
Yeah.
But all right, Mike, what is it going to take for Mike to actually get on a knee and propose to someone?
I
What
probably
is the
have to
list?
move.
Give me the top 5 on your list to get
He
married.
said he's going. I think
There's
it's
room
in
in North
California.
Dakota. You can come up here.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Too much snow.
Oh, never mind then.
Too much snow.
What are the 5 things that need to happen in a relationship for Mike to get married?
I don't know. Shit. It might at this point. I'm
Amazing
so like
sex
it's
for number 5.
the older I get. I don't know if picky is the right word, but I know what I want and I know what
you
I'm willing
believe
to
in the
deal with.
institution of marriage, though. You understand the
Yes,
importance
of
of
course.
marriage.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I completely agree with marriage. I completely agree in the institution of marriage. Having 2 parents in the home is the key to having, kids grow up stable.
Yeah.
People don't everybody wants to say like, oh, just because marriage is part, the government's involved and all this stuff, and that marriage is so old school and we don't need that. They don't look at the statistics of kids without fathers in the home. Because if you looked at that, you would realize you definitely need that. You need 2 parents in the home. So I completely agree with, I'm for marriage. I want to get married one day, but, I'm one of those, I want to, make sure it's the right person. And it's just, it'll happen when it's happened. I'm not actively looking because
You need a
I'm
good
content-
Democrat. You need a good
I'm
Democrat.
content with being
Mike?
single. So
Mike,
Danielle's got
I
somebody to set you up
100%
with.
I 100% commend you and appreciate that answer. That completely changes my perspective of thinking you were a womanizing pile of garbage. So I'm glad that came out because it makes me understand that you do take things seriously and you're not out there just like, sticking
he's a
your
devout
dick in
Christian.
thinking that'll donate a hole.
He's
So
a devout,
I-
he's a devout
I'm-
Christian.
I'm far
I-
from that.
I very much commend the answer to that. And you will find a person. All I've got to say is look younger, not older.
Yeah.
Quick, you got change. You have time to change the answer. Quickly.
He wants one of my
Quickly.
he wants one of my cousins in
There
Italy.
it is.
Is what he wants. He wants
No,
one of my-
and over here,
I have 5 sisters and a mom. I can't be a womanizer. It's not in me.
I can't imagine having 9 children coming out of my vagina. I'm sorry, but no thank you.
That's why I laugh at every woman when they're like, "Oh, I have 2 kids. It's so hard." I'm like, "Yeah,
No,
go talk to
Right?
my mother. Go
Your
talk to my
mother.
mother."
you better appreciate
Yeah, talk to
your
my
mother
mom.
on Mother's Day, for fuck's sake. That's
And my
God.
dad worked very long hours because he had to support us.
yeah,
So-
Yeah,
a lot of
It
work
wasn't
for 9
like
kids,
she
yeah.
was just with the kids for 8 hours. I mean, my dad worked
Yeah,
6
he had
days, sometimes
he had
7 days a
11
week.
people.
Oh,
He had 11 people to support.
I
dude.
appreciate that. I work 8-9 hour days every single day and have a good 5 hours with my child while my husband is working. So
Yeah.
I get it. I could not do that times 9. No fucking.
I was raised in a very, I guess people would call it old school mentality.
Yeah.
And I think that's a part of the reason why, I would say I'm not really the kind of sought after guy nowadays because my values are what I was raised under.
A little old fashioned.
Are you gonna live with?
I'm a very old fashioned guy.
Yeah,
so-
but you would still live with her
Right,
first before you married her. Am I right?
Oh yeah, that's like I have to live with them first.
All right,
For sure.
Bruce. Bruce, what
Mike,
is it going to take for Bruce to
you
get
have to
married
come
again?
to the Midwest.
You ain't gonna
Seriously,
have it.
Mike. Midwest.
Oh no, I know. I plan on it. Don't
Fuck
worry.
yeah, Midwest. You
All
got
right,
it.
we need to get Bruce
You're
and
made.
Bob married. What are we going to do, guys? We need to get
Midwest.
Bruce and Bob married.
I'll pay for the mail order bride if it only
Florida.
costs $4,000.
Go to Florida.
Ain't
Don't go to
gonna
Florida. That's
happen.
hurricanes. Like the worst we have is snow.
Been there.
Bruce and Bob need to go to either Florida or Arizona to get married.
I've been there. done
Arizona's
that.
too fucking hot.
Yeah,
Arizona's too hot.
seriously, Arizona's way too
Colorado.
fucking hot.
Bruce,
Been there, done that.
I know Bruce, but
I'm a big dude.
I
Arizona's
still,
hot.
I
Oh
still
no,
think
I'm
that
I'm
moment will
behind Bruce
happen.
100%. If I was married for 33 years, there's no way it would happen. I would never marry again, and I wouldn't even think about it. If I was
Right.
with the woman that I loved for that long,
Yeah, it's a long time.
nope,
No.
I'm not doing it. I even part of me would. I mean, it just. I would feel like there's no way. I was happily married for that long. I
Yeah.
don't. I did it. I met the woman of my dreams. I
Yep.
was with
And I've
her,
been-
and now she's gone.
It
And I've
makes
been
you feel
single
like you
for-
were dirty or cheating on her or something.
You know, it's been 8 years, and I don't feel that. I mean, you know, obviously I always feel her, you know, think
Yeah,
about her. You know, I mean, there's not a day I don't think about her, but
Right. Yeah.
but it's just weird because I at this point, 8 years living on my own, I'm kind of used to
You're used
living
to
on my
it.
own and doing my own thing, you know, and then to have somebody come in my life and be a partner or my other half, or to have to share things with or make mutual decisions or answer to or anything else like that, it's just not
Yeah.
something where I want to be
Unless she's the
anymore.
unicorn, right? You
Yeah,
said unless
well,
she's the
But
unicorn.
those don't exist, so I'm really not,
Yeah.
I'm not really thinking that's going to happen, right? And like I said,
Nope.
financially, I'm very secure.
Yeah.
And like I said, me and my financial guy said there's only 3 ways you can screw up your retirement, Bruce. 1, you
Get
die.
married.
2, you
die.
get married. 3, you find a girlfriend that likes to spend your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So just dodge all three of those, and you'll be good to go.
There we go.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go.
Somebody in the chat had a great idea. We should start a GoFundMe for the group and try all these different experiments.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Mike,
experiments?
Mike, you've got like 6 months up in the Midwest. See what happens. Same with
Oh,
Bob.
I
Bob,
know I could find a woman out there. I know
Bob,
that.
Bob
for a
would
fact.
we'll send Bob somewhere
Why
for
are
like 6
you
months.
not here then? I have my
because
best
of
friend.
my job.
Mike would
best
put on
friend
his
would be
Wranglers.
all over that. Just saying.
Mike would put on his Wranglers and his
You
boots,
would
and he'd
allow
fit
your
right
best
in
friend
over
to
there,
be
man.
with a womanizer like Mike?
No.
She's
No.
been
No,
with worse.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
No.
Been with worse.
Yes.
Most women don't deserve me, so there's that too.
Whoa. Okay.
There it is. There's the Sicilian. The Sicilian
Yep.
side just spoke right there.
That's it. That's gonna be in his next bumper. A picture,
Yeah.
and like just
That's
most
his
women don't.
Tinder line.
Yeah, most women
Yeah,
don't.
my
Most
Most
biggest
women
problem
don't deserve me on
is-
Tinder.
is-
I
is
like
I'm-
that bumper
No,
sticker.
because I mean, most men are shit bags. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
you know
I'm a too nice of a guy is my problem.
that is
Yeah.
my
Yeah, I
problem.
can
That's
see
that.
1,000% my problem.
Word.
I'm way too nice of a guy.
That I have a harder time believing than Bruce.
Oh
I-
no, trust
I-
me.
I
I've-
believe-
if you
I
asked
believe-
all my friends, they would tell you
He's
that's
going
my
to say
problem.
no, but I know there's another person that's always out there, and you might not have met her now, but eventually
Who are you
You're gonna
talking
get-
to?
you, Bruce,
Oh,
eventually
me.
eventually you'll find that person, and there's just going to be nothing you can do about it. Just make sure she signs a prenup. Just make sure she signs a prenup. and
Oh
you'll be
no!
okay.
If Bruce ever, for some and I don't believe he ever
It's
will.
going to be someone special.
But
That's what I'm
if he
saying.
did, the prenup 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing 2 prenups.
Dude, just in case
Shit.
I die.
Even I have literally thought about going and talking to somebody about if I should consider that if I ever.
It
get
doesn't fly in
Oh, yeah.
California though, Mike.
No.
married. Oh well,
Yeah.
then I guess I'm not getting married.
I think you'd have to. I think New York accepts them. What is the other states? New York, you can get a prenup. I don't understand why California doesn't have one because
Because we're a bunch of
because
fucking
it's the
liberals.
50 state.
your state does, Danielle. North Dakota has prenups.
Yep. You can have prenups in North Dakota. We're not a community property state like California and
Yeah,
all
California's
the
community-
Oh, never mind. You
property.
can't in Wisconsin because we're a community property state.
Nope.
Or they-
So you don't even have to be
What
married.
is what does that mean? Community property state.
Community
That
property
means
means if you're married for over a certain amount of time, automatically the prenup is void and you split everything 50-50.
50-50.
North
yeah,
Dakota
or
doesn't have that.
and
Wisconsin
in some
does.
cases, Mike, you don't even have to be married.
I think it's 7 years.
Well, yeah, common
See,
law.
we
7
don't
years.
even have that.
Years, yep.
We
Yeah,
don't have
7 years common
marriage.
law. Yeah,
We don't
common
have
law.
common law marriage in North Dakota. So
Yeah.
you can live
California,
with
you
people
do.
for 12 years and not, be common law spouse to
Right.
them. And then when you get divorced, they ain't touching your shit because you don't have
That's why you
prenup,
don't
you're
get
not
them
married.
change your address.
That's why
You
I
don't
said-
let-
For me, I would just keep my stuff off books and out of her knowledge.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
they
when
can-
you get
they- an
married,
attorney
all
will
of that
find it.
stuff comes out. Everything comes out of the woodwork when you get married.
That's not true.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it
God,
I'm
does.
telling you right now, I could take 75% of my wealth and it would disappear if I wanted it to.
Before. Yeah, I mean,
And
before
it
you get
would
married.
and even if I got married, it would not come up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you did a Cayman's account or something like that offshore, like that's totally a different story.
Yeah, yeah.
But in North Dakota, like everything is combined. You automatically are like tied to your spouse 100% for their liabilities.
You know, whatever debt they have accumulated, it
Yep.
becomes yours.
So, like, that's definitely
see, that's a
something to
hard
take into
pass.
consideration. But with the prenup, you can add a clause in there that says any debt incurred by the spouse as of your wedding date is their debt if a divorce happens.
Yeah.
Well, now the
So-
interesting thing was when my wife passed, right? Any credit she had in her name that I wasn't on, I wasn't responsible for.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. So any credit cards that she had, it was just in her name, and I wasn't on the account because it wasn't considered a joint account.
Yeah.
It was just her account, and when she passed, they washed the debt off. I didn't have to pay
Oh.
it.
I didn't know that. I thought it went down. the line.
Nope.
No, as long as you're not on that.
only
long as-
joint.
Yeah, as long as you're not on that account, you're safe.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
called them up because I was going to pay him off, and they go, "Well, wait, you're your husband." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you're not on the account," and he goes, "And to be honest," he says, "We'd love for you to pay it off." He says, "But legally, you don't have to."
You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could.
And
Your
that's-
credit rating can drop 100 points just getting married, Mike.
That's not
That's
true
unfortunate.
at all. That is not true at all.
Yeah, mine went up.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
I don't know.
Because you
it
had a
is.
wife that helped you.
Yeah,
with
yours
your
went up.
credit,
I
that's
wonder why, Brian. I wonder why.
But the thing
If
is,
you
like,
marry the
when you
wrong
look
person,
when you look at marriage stuff, like we don't have joint
right?
things. There are certain things that are under me. There are other things that are under him. If there were to be a divorce, it would be, okay, I'm keeping the house and you can have
You're
your
out.
car even though the car is under my name. But
You can have
like,
the car, Brian.
that's the way it works. Everything is treated independently here. All of his debt would be his debt. All of my debt would be
Yeah.
my debt. When it comes to like credit cards and stuff. When it
Are
comes
you
to
writing
property,
all this down, Morgan?
Oh, once again, in a situation where I knew too much, I'm
tough.
familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. You've been down that road.
Yeah,
It's-
especially
I mean,
with my
it's
mom
tough.
and my stepdad's divorce. That was a
So-
bit, well, it's still
Here's-
even though they're officially divorced, it's still a doozy.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like, okay, and this is like, I don't want to, air dirty laundry or anything, but even just moving in together, when
Yeah.
Brian, lost a job at one point, having these, credit cards come out of the woodwork, like, hey, I have this in collections, I have this
Right.
in collections, I have this in collections, I have this in collections. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know about any of these 10 credit cards.
There's
10
like
And-
two.
is 2.
It was 5.
2.
It was 5
Ah,
because
but it wasn't 10.
It wasn't
Brian,
Jack.
and you got her to
So-
pay
See,
them
that's
off.
what I'm saying.
No, because
Brian,
he had
if you
5.
got her to pay those off, you need to teach like a master class or something.
He,
man.
no, he did.
We need to
So-
we need to get
Yes.
something started here. We
She
can make
just
money
said-
on this.
He had 10 accounts total.
Master
Lesson
class.
10. We've already said all this.
He had 5 that were in collections. I had to
We
call
agreed on 5.
every single one of them and pretend to be his wife because I was not
Head
his
off.
wife at the time, and freaking pay off his settlement amount on 5 different fucking cards.
Master
Bro,
class by Brian
master
Powers.
Like
TED Talk.
when we're talking
Talk
about
with
like
Brian.
finances and shit, like he needs to learn to fucking listen. That's all I'm saying.
So you're the number
Why?
lady.
He's got you now.
All right, let's get into the last topic. Sports and marriage.
No, see, I got nothing on that.
Now, she wasn't in any sports at all, Bruce.
No,
She didn't
she
like
wasn't
any
into
team?
sports at all. No,
So you were a Niner fan. She was a Niner fan.
if she even watched the game, she didn't
If she
really
watched the
wasn't into
game.
sports. Yeah,
Now,
It
Bob
was- it
said he would marry a Giants fan. Mike,
Yeah.
he said he would marry a Giants fan.
I'd marry a Dodgers fan. That would make for healthy competition in the house.
It would.
That actually probably make things interesting.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, husband and wife going to a Giants
Yeah,
Dodger
I
game.
don't shy away from
They do
that
all
for
the
sure.
time.
I would
Wait,
not date a
they
girl
do it
because
all
she
the
was a
time.
Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
Speaking of competition,
Morgan, how about you? Packers fan.
oh yeah, but yeah, Corey's a Packers fan, but he doesn't watch a whole lot of baseball. But he's Brewers fan. Neither one of us.
We don't want to talk about the Brewers right now.
Why not?
We don't want to
No,
go. To
Because
the
they swept
we
the
beat
door, they
we
swept 3
beat
out of
them
4
the
from
last
Giants.
game. It's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
They took 3 out of 4 from the Giants.
yeah.
Oh, I
We're
know.
doing just fine.
I thought of you. Thought of you all during that series.
We're doing just
We
fine.
were.
except for Bob.
By the
Bob's
way-
rooting for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I root for the Dodgers. By the way, when you went to the Brewers game against the Reds,
Yeah.
that was the big show, right?
That was what?
The big
The
show.
big show in the picture.
Oh, wait, the wrestler in the picture.
Oh yeah. It was so funny because we were sitting there, and my youngest brother, Aaron, he's like that's that's the big show, and of course I don't know anything about wrestling and all. I'm just looking at him like who's that, and he's like it's a wrestler, and I was trying to get him over there to because he was signing stuff, taking pictures, and I nearly broke something because I couldn't. Of course, there are people on either side of the seats, and I was quickly trying to get lifting a 9-year-old. He's about like 90 pounds. Like I'm trying to lift him over these damn seats. I almost tripped, and but I'm trying to go over these seats looking like a fool. And of course, as soon as we got over there, of course, that's when he stopped. And I was like,
Right.
damn. I'm sorry, kid. But so at the game, though, there were these 2 guys that obviously had way, way too much to drink.
Of course.
But every time Joey Votto was on deck, these guys are just screaming at Joey and whole bunch of other shit. And of course, Aaron decides he's gonna try that to get a Brewers attention, and I'm like, no. I'm like, you're not doing this. I'm like, these 2 are acting like what. I'm like, no, we're not. But at one point, it was 3-1 Reds, and of course, they keep harassing Votto, and he turns and he looks at me as he's walking back to the dugout, and he goes.
3-1.
And then the guy shut up and sit down. But then, of course, we, won the game 7-4. So, of course, these guys are just yelling. And then the next day, my mom, calls me and she's like, guess what? I'm like, what? Those same guys are at the game again today because you can hear them because the mic is right by
The seats. Yeah.
right by the seat, so you can still hear him screaming, Joey. I was like, oh hell.
So it would be a big deal if Corey, your boyfriend, was a Vikings fan.
Well, his parents would have disowned him long before me. So, but no, I mean, I like competition. I like, which, speaking of which, John, remember what tomorrow is?
Wisconsin, Penn State.
Yep. Yeah. You
That's
better be
right.
ready.
I'm
lose
ready.
that bet. You know what you got to do? You got to wear that Vikings jersey.
Well, I'm not gonna lose. That's the thing.
Tomorrow
see.
is our season opener too for college football, and I actually got
Is it
tickets.
the Bisons?
Yeah, it's a
Trey's
Vikings.
old,
Yeah,
Trey Lance's
Bison.
old team.
Yeah,
Who are they playing?
they are playing. Fuck, I forgot.
They're playing Lake Tahoe's College of Women's
No,
Nuns.
Deaf and blind.
Blind.
no, they're not.
The Deaf and Blind School of North Dakota.
Bob,
They're playing Albany.
you guys got Clemson tomorrow, Bob.
Yep.
Clemson
that's gonna
tomorrow,
be a huge,
yes.
I'm watching that game
So
because that's
be
a
they're
great
big,
playing
big
Albany
game.
tomorrow,
Bob, we're playing Albany Great Danes.
and it's a season opener, and we were able to actually get tickets because you can't get tickets to these games
Yeah,
hardly
I
ever.
bet.
So this is the first time I'm tailgating since I've had my child.
All right.
So
fun.
11 a.m. we're cracking beers and going up there to tailgate.
Where are you watching the game at there, Bob? Is that a national game? That's
I
going to
have
be a
a
national.
draft tomorrow night at Jesse's house.
Are you going to watch it over
So
at
I am
Jesse's?
going over early because the game starts at 4:30. I'm going
Yeah.
over early to Jesse's house and set up camp and watch the first half, and then we'll draft, and then I'm staying until the game's done.
That's a huge, huge game tomorrow for you guys. That's going to just.
Oh, yeah,
that's
I'll
gonna
be
change-
wearing my Georgia stuff tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Are you in another league tomorrow? What?
yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
3 leagues.
He's
Oh, you're in 2 leagues.
I
Huh?
have a draft tomorrow. Our draft is on Sunday. Then I have another draft
our
Monday night.
draft is on Sunday.
What time is it at again?
5 o'clock Pacific.
5 o'clock. Yeah.
5 o'clock your time. So okay, yes, okay.
Yeah, the draft
That's what I
order
thought.
should be listed. If you go on to your thing and link on, the draft order should be set by 4 o'clock.
Bob finally get it all fixed with the
It
app?
said it. Our draft's at 5. It said it'll do the order an hour before the draft. So by 4 o'clock, the draft order should be there.
You
I'm
get your app all
hoping-
fixed,
I'm
Bob?
hoping everybody's right, and that because I started the league, I get the first pick.
No.
I hope so.
Mm-mm.
I hope so.
Well, that's okay.
Bob.
That's okay because John gets the first pick, and with John's first pick, he's going to draft Joe Theismann.
No, first pick for me. I don't know.
All 8 quarterbacks.
It's
Okay.
up in the air. It's up in the air if I have first pick. There's two
What
people.
position are you going for, John?
Quarterback.
If I have first pick, I got to be an idiot not to take McCaffrey. I mean, you have
I
to.
can see it now. John has first pick. I'll take O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I would either take. I
Wait,
would either take
didn't you have
him.
McAfee last year?
I'll be honest. If I have first pick, I'm having a hard time whether or not I go for Patrick Mahomes or McCaffrey. Those are my two
Morgan,
wish.
Last year,
dreams.
John drafted 4 quarterbacks and
Yeah.
2 tight ends that weren't in the league anymore.
But remember, Morgan, it was
Yeah.
my first year doing it. So
Antonio
Oh, and-
Gates and somebody else.
and my internet went out, so
Well,
I
why
didn't know
were
what
they-
I was
Why
picking.
were they even on the draft board if they weren't in the league anymore?
Yeah, that's what I said.
They were free
too.
agents.
Yeah, that's what
They
I
were
said.
free
Well,
agents.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, this will be my first time actually like picking people because my other league, it's just a random
It's
Random
auto draft. Yeah.
auto draft. So,
Yeah.
but I've got some people, in mind though.
Don't
So-
show your hand, Morgan. Don't
so-
show your
so-
hand.
Oh no,
So-
oh no.
yeah.
I
So
won't.
Brian, what is it like living with a Cowboys fan?
Amazing.
I can't read lips,
Fantastic.
Danielle. I couldn't
Beautiful.
read lips. Say that again.
Amazing. Fantastic and beautiful. Because you realize is how much the Vikings fucking suck
Hey,
every
Wait,
year.
wait. So
Brian,
Danielle,
So, Brian, when did you
Danielle,
become
how
a?
was it last year when the Vikings had a better record than the Cowboys did.
Last year was a fluke. That fucking sucked for all of us.
I mean, it's like it's amazing. It's like Brian's not even moving his lips, but he's talking.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go ahead, Brian.
settle this right now, okay? 10 o'clock game. You get 2 channels. You only have 1 TV in your house. Both games are on different channels. Who's gonna win that fight?
Well, it depends on who's playing who. That's what it comes down to.
Depends on who's working and who's not.
No, you're both home. I'm not even going to suggest who's playing who. Just both games, both teams are playing at the same time on different channels. Who gets to pick the game they watch?
We've actually had this a few times, and it does come down to who's playing who. Because if the Vikings are actually having a close game, like they're actually playing, like the game's actually close and it's kind of fun to watch that one a little bit more. But what we've ended up doing is we would go back and forth. Just see, like, watch a little bit of this one, watch a little bit of that one, just go back and forth and just see. But if one's like a blowout, then we just say screw it and just watch the other one.
That's true.
That's what we've done.
Bob,
you don't have split screen TV?
No,
I'll go in the bedroom. Like if he wants to watch the Vikings game.
No, I'm saying you got one TV. I'm saying you got one TV.
If we've got one TV, chances are he's working, so I'm gonna watch.
All right, Bob.
Or like I have my phone. I'll have the Vikings game on my phone.
Yes, John.
While the TV's on too.
Yeah,
so.
hold on, Brian's speaking.
Yes,
Bob, you and your girlfriend at home, one TV. Dodgers are on one channel. She's a Giants fan. Who's watching what?
That all depends.
On what?
Huh?
On what? Let me
What kind of
guess.
sexual favor do I get for letting her watch the Giants game while I go outside and watch the Dodger game on my phone?
Danielle, would you use sex to change the channel? Would you use your sexual energy to get Brian to sway your way?
He is not affected by me going naked in front of him. If he's on the computer and I strip completely down,
right,
and I sit on top of him while he is on the computer, he will literally be like, "Oh, I'm trying to do something," and like push me off his lap if I'm naked and he's on the
self-control.
How about if you were naked wearing a Minnesota Vikings jersey? Brian, are you getting excited then?
Yep. Done it.
Yes.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to work in the morning.
All right, Mike. Well, hey, Mike, let me ask you quick. She's a Dodgers fan. You're a Giants fan. Both games are on at the same time. You have one TV. Who's watching what?
Oh, we'll flip between it, but we're definitely watching more of the Giants game for sure. If I paid for the TV and it's my house.
I knew he was going to go with this. My house and my TV.
My
if
house,
she lives
my
there
rules.
with you, if you're living together,
Or I'll just go down the Bob Road.
you go down to Bob's Road. What are you going to give me to watch the Dodgers?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Mike. Good night, Mike.
Later, Mike.
Yeah, Michael.
How about you, Bruce? I don't know your teams. You're a Niners fan.
Niners and Giants.
Yeah, and if she's a Rams fan and both games are on.
Actually, a friend of mine, and she's a Rams fan. She lives in Montana, but so we always give shit about that. But I would probably say we're going down to the bar and watching multiple TVs.
There you go.
That's a smart
Safe
move.
answer, Bruce. Safe
Smart.
answer.
Good answer. That's like an answer of a guy that's been married for 31 years right there.
Okay.
Why we sitting home? Let's go to the bar. We can watch all the games.
No dishes to clean, no food
I
to
have a
make.
question.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, you have a girl who is opposite team. You have your team. Would you be more or less turned on if she sends you a picture of herself in your jersey or her jersey?
It would make a difference
Is
to
she
me.
naked under the jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't
to
matter
me.
which jersey it is.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good with
That
her.
was a
jersey.
Doesn't matter what
Jersey.
jersey it is.
Yeah.
I'm not putting your
Doesn't
jersey on anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't think
Jersey's
it
a
matters.
jersey. But it's not going to be on long anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
matter.
it's not going to be on for very long.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
See,
going on.
Bruce and me are on the same page.
Yeah, there's no way that jersey's staying on her. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure.
Absolutely.
What if you're in a different state?
Oh, that makes it.
There's a different state.
Still doesn't matter.
I think I would be. I don't want to say respect her more, but I think I'd be a little more happier, I guess, that she was wearing. She took the time to do it with my jersey than to say her team, like she did it for me. So it'd be a little bit more special that she was wearing the Rams jersey instead of, say, Detroit Lions jersey. I think it'd feel a little. I feel a little
That's
more
why
special
you need
about it.
to rate our marriage.
Is she doing it to spite you or did?
Oh yeah,
Or
if she's wearing the Rams jersey and going like this, yeah, I'm not going to be too happy.
And naked, like going, you ain't getting none of this,
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
she's wearing that Rams jersey to make me feel good, I think I would appreciate that more so than if she was wearing the Detroit Lions jersey.
How about
That
you,
just shows
Brian?
me she cares enough. She cares enough and respects me and loves me enough to wear that jersey. And then I would send her a plane ticket and yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, I mean, well, so like the way I look about it is that
What happened
she
to the
hates the
yes, no?
Vikings. No, hear me out. She hates the Vikings. So if she's putting on the jersey of a Vikings, that means like she loves me for who I am, not like what she's wearing.
Yeah.
So like she's trying to do something as a treat for me. So that's why. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're still looking for a yes or no.
Yeah, she's just, to me, it just shows that she cares enough about me to want to wear that jersey to make me happy. Than say to wear the, because I'd be still excited that she's wearing the Detroit Lions jersey naked. I mean, if she's at the end of the bed and she's wearing the Detroit Lions jersey, I could care less the fact that she's wearing that jersey. I just know that.
John, can we just cut to the chase? It's not a Detroit Lions jersey. It's a Buffalo Bills jersey. Okay,
Even a Buffalo
can we
Bills
just cut to
jersey.
the chase? We know what
If
you're
she's-
talking about.
if
It's a
she's wearing a
Buffalo
Buffalo
Bills jersey, not a
and
Rams
holding a
jersey.
sandwich, I don't care. I don't care.
I don't think she's going to hold the sandwich up for you, John. But she'll be in her Buffalo Bills jersey.
So
Could
Brian,
be the Jets even, man.
Yeah, no,
so Brian,
No,
Draw
it
the
won't be the Jets.
that's where I draw
It'll
the
be the
line.
Buffalo Bills, and they're listening to the Goo Goo Dolls.
okay. So if I take a picture of myself in compromised situation in a Vikings jersey, does it matter if I'm holding a sandwich or not, Brian?
No, because I'm not going to eat it.
I'm not gonna eat it. Why wouldn't you eat the sandwich?
What?
You can add both things together. You can have sex and eat the sandwich
Hey,
at the same time.
what happens first, the sandwich or the sex?
No, both. You can do them at the
That's-
same time. What's
Duh.
stopping you from eating while you're having sex?
No, because if you eat a sandwich that has all the Italian salamis and pepperonis and spicy stuff that makes your breath smell like asshole,
That's all right.
you're gonna eat that after the sex because you love
No,
your
you
woman
give her a
for
bite.
putting on
You give
your
her a
freaking
bite.
jersey.
You give her a bite, then you both stink.
Ew. No,
Yeah.
I don't
It's-
eat red onions.
Honestly, all right. Look, I've always wanted to do this poll, but I never had the balls to do it. But honestly, how much kissing is going on when you're having fucking sex? To be honest,
A lot.
Depending, I guess.
I mean, once
lot.
they go down on you, you kind of stop the whole kissing thing, but generally, a lot. Like, and it depends on if it's the female going down or the guy going down too.
I can say
As long as she holds the hot
kind of
dog.
the foreplay
Like
to the
this
heavy
good.
duty stuff, and then once the heavy duty
All
stuff
right, wait.
kicks in,
So, I just have an innocent question here
innocent.
because I ran into this problem. So, what you're saying, Danielle, is it's okay that you're not going to kiss Brian after he's pleasured you downtown,
Oh, I know where
but
you're going.
but you cannot get mad at him if he doesn't want to kiss you once
You
you've
after
pleasured him.
Bob, let's think about the juices issue here.
Now, I'm
That's
not.
all I'm
I'm just thinking about equality and women have broken the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about equality and fair being fair.
Equality. He threw
There it
equality
is.
in there.
What's the over under?
That's number
Morgan,
2 for the night, by the way.
Morgan,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Why are you passing the question?
So if Corey goes down on you, are you going to sit there and make out with him after he's gone down?
Go,
So
Bob.
we're asking who's kissing first after 69?
I mean, yeah.
No, 69 is no. Okay, so my husband,
This was a clean family
Yeah,
show.
yeah, so-
how do I say this knowing that it's like in public? How did I start this?
I don't know. You started this.
I know.
Sorry, Brian.
You
I
have
didn't
to
mean for you to get slapped, brother.
Like this.
Hey, I thought it was funny, so whatever.
Fix your hair. Okay, you have to think about the juices. That's all I'm gonna say.
Didn't this
All
start
right.
with a sandwich? And a,
Right.
Wait. But if you pleasure your man, there could be juices at the end too.
No. No.
That
that's
happens?
like a tease. No, I'm not talking about like finishing him off. That's totally different. If I finish him off, I'm not kissing him. Nope. Nope. Not happening.
All
I
right.
feel like that's an insult. It's like ass to mouth. You just don't do it.
There you go.
John, this whole question should be in the whole like Morgan watches porn segment.
In her lizard room.
Just saying,
Oh,
it
hold
kind
on.
of fits because it's probably going to be in there somewhere.
Oh. Well, we hit all the topics, guys,
Oh yeah, we did.
You sure?
and then some. And
There's
then
got to be
some.
something else we haven't brought up, John.
You know.
We know that marriage rates don't matter to us guys. We don't care that their
Nope.
statistics are high on
And
dating
seven's
sites.
fine.
Yeah. Mail order brides aren't cheap. We know that. We've learned that. And is being married still mean? Morgan and Mike said that marriage still means something to them. So they're the two youngest people we have on here. So that's good to hear because I hear different things. I hear a lot of people say, well, you still hear it. Oh, it's just a piece of paper. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And well, in some states like ours, you can be living together for 7 years and it becomes pretty much technically a common marriage. So what's his is yours and what's hers is his. So, but I hate hearing that. I hear it a lot that it doesn't mean anything to them. And obviously
What I always heard was what's his is hers and what's hers is hers.
it was hers is hers. And if you look at the marriage rate decline in the U.S. is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And it doesn't matter what jersey you're wearing as long as you're nude and in my bedroom. Game on. I don't care. We've learned that. We're all good with that one, except for Brian. Brian insists that Danielle wears a Viking jersey only.
Brian's not fazed by a woman in a naked jersey sitting on his lap. So
Yeah, right. He's not
Yeah.
fazed by that.
yeah.
I was out of town when that happened, just so you know.
Yeah.
was
That's
pregnant.
harder. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
And I was pregnant.
I was down in Texas when that happened.
Yeah, see, that's
I
not
was
fair.
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's not fair. I mean,
Atlanta.
I would be kind of upset. I'm not that guy. I don't need to see a picture of you half naked and you're 18 hours away from me and I can't do nothing about it. Yeah, that would just drive me insane. I don't care what jersey you're wearing. It wouldn't be fair. Now, see, we can't get away with that. I mean, Brian can't go to the bathroom to the window and take a selfie picture of his junk hanging out in a Cowboys jersey, and you're not going to find that attractive.
Well, apparently,
Would you?
on these
No?
dating sites, there's a lot of women that get the old.
Brian made sure he muted her before she could get the words out. Unmute her.
Why
Okay.
not? I enjoy
You're good with
naked
that. You're happy. See,
my
Brian,
husband just as much as he enjoys naked
you got
pictures
goals
of
now,
me.
Brian.
Yeah.
So why can't my husband do that? We're
All right,
in a
Brian.
consensual, long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
this
can't
guy's
my
got a
just
roommate
husband
in the
send
house
me
too,
pictures?
though, right?
I'm just saying that any man who wants to walk out with his cowboy jersey on and he's naked below the waist, he really doesn't want to show people his vagina, okay?
You know, I just don't see that as sexy for a guy.
It's hard for us to be sexy with that way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impossible, dude.
I mean, a
It's
girl can
more
pull it
the
off,
whole-
but
We
I just
already
don't
know-
see the guy
We-
pulling that off.
we
right?
already know statistically that you women find that area gross.
Yeah.
We already know that. Statistically,
Depends on
most
how
women
you
think
mow
that
the
is a
lawn.
disgusting area, but they just deal with it because
It
they
depends
need
on
it.
how you mow the lawn. If
Well,
you
trim
mow
it all up
the
nice and
lawn-
clean. Part the Red Sea, Brian. Put on that Dallas Cowboys jersey and get in there.
Well, you can always put
So
a
if
little.
like I come out and like have the jersey on and I just show like these
Hey,
suck.
John,
And then-
hey,
oh, Brian,
hey,
Brian,
Brian, you just
Brian.
put on the holster and the cowboy hat and the bandana and the boots
Oh,
and
the
just walk
cowboy
out.
hat and the Wrangler.
Oh, Brian,
And the
and-
cap.
and-
Yeah.
And the absolute cap, Brian.
no,
The absolute
Brian,
cap.
the
Yeah, and then
Dallas
have some-
Cowboys
Have some
jersey,
caps. We'll have a little cap gun thing going, and you know.
the Dallas Cowboys jersey, and black socks.
No,
With sandals. With sandals.
No.
Black socks with sandals.
No, Crocs, dude.
No.
Like the black socks with like the
With the
The
holders.
bands, like the
With the
bands that
holder?
go up above like your calf.
John, this
Tell
is
her
why
ring.
No,
you're
no, here.
single.
Hey, Brian. Go old school Italian. Go the Cowboys jersey, black socks, and church shoes.
No,
Yeah, right.
no, I got one better. You do the loose tie, the white shirt, and like the boxers. I'm there.
Oh, he's doing the Tom Cruise thing.
Yep.
But Tom was wearing the whitey tighties though.
Yeah, he
was.
wore whitey tighties. He went
No,
the
I
Fruit of
went
the
to-
Looms.
Old records off
Off
the
the
shelf.
shelf.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining
All right,
us.
have a
tonight.
good night.
Danielle, it's
Night
good seeing
all.
you back. Good day.
Have a
Good
night,
night.
Chris.
Have a good night.
Fantastic. Who else was out there?
Peace, love, and
Yeah.
rock and roll. Good night. Let me hit the
Good
right
night,
one
guys.
here. Wait a minute. Which one is it? Oh, these out. Not it. That.